of the cons of various levels of effective conning and such. So Gen Con was only about 30% train wreck, which, is not bad for beta testing. And that's all we need to say about that. If you were watching, as you were one of mine or any of my other players at Gen Con, welcome. Come hang out with us. I'm not sure who else would know about this stream at this point. I keep telling people, we keep starting with 0 viewers, but then we are starting 6 minutes late, so okay. We also ended last game in the middle of combat, but against all odds, I remember and wrote down and didn't lose where we were in combat. Yay! So, and I apologize for being more of a space cadet than usual for my space game, as I've been very low on spoons this week, because wouldn't you know, I go to an online convention and get con ick. So I have leveled up in spoony bullshit. I hate my body.
That's a mood.
It's a habit.
It's a mood, but there's a particular subset of spoony mood of I hate my body, which is difficult than the kind of standard stereotype version of that mood. But yes,
I'm in the non-binary hate my body bucket, but
that's another one definitely gaining more visibility now. Yep. And so I'm Ms. Chrysilla, and I'm the GM, and I am kind of here. So this is going to be a real interesting game. Whew, okay. Priceley and Patricia will be back in a mo. So Klaus, who is you?
I is Klaus.
Woohoo!
Hi, I'm Dracus. I don't really know what else to say about myself at the moment, but it's fine. I'm playing Klaus, and I'm in the party as the healer and necromancer and resident drug dealer. I'm not usually the one who ends up on drugs, but I've done a fair bit of concocting.
Well, the thing is, your class is kind of always on drugs, but they know they're
just like low levels of always on drugs, so it's just not even They're not addicted. They're just maximizing their potential and their functionality. I'm trying to live with the horror of being a mage.
And technically being a lich, just not the bad kind. Because this is space, and sometimes in this setting, mages just forget to age. And that's fine. It's second ed mage, so it's Tremere liches that are the problem. But those also tend to be Moros, so let's see where this goes. The Tremere liches are the eat your soul for immortality thing, but there's really, why would you go with that when you could just get life 5 and just stop aging?
Exactly.
Why go through all that trouble? Mages, man. Dune, who is you?
I'm Dune. I'm a wolf blood fighter from Wolf Country. I've lived my entire life on Idun. It's been mostly and especially because the gates to get to other systems are complete and utter bullshit. So I was brought, I wasn't brought per se. I escaped from Wolf Country, and then my aunt, my sainted aunt, who is the Batman of the city, if you will, took, I would not say pity on me, but she took me under her wing a bit and got me a new job. And from there I joined the Mercenaries Guild, and I've been doing mercenaries work ever since, with my trusty gun and my trusty knife.
Props! For better or worse, I will always be a LARPer at heart. So yes, great props to your tabletop game. If you want to give your LARP turned tabletop storyteller happy feelings.
Props and costumes. Gotta love them.
Costumes. Oh, yes.
I wish I could find my Nerf gun instead of my marshmallow shooter.
Okay, so Pricely is here today, but Pricely and Shurkio, who will be played by Peter again this week, had to dip for a second, and they should be back in a few minutes. So while we're waiting, why don't y'all try to remember what we were doing last game?
Well, what we were trying to do last game was fight a big fuck-off monster.
But did anything happen before that?
There, we... It was a missing persons case. We were trying to investigate an opponent's business because they came up, and then that person messed with our illustrious leaders. Well, not the missing person. The opponent company was the one who messed with our illustrious leaders' computers by erasing our files on them. Our illustrious leader was very pissed off. Our leader was pissed
with the
off.
Bonstru's operating system. You just don't do that.
So
not
eventually
in the
found the ship.
Not in the last World of Darkness. Like, you don't do it. Sorry.
So we went and we found a ship that had belonged to the opposite company that was of the interest to our person. But in doing so, we found the ship completely deserted. Upon further investigation, we found the gate to the hedge, as it were. A stable gate, which we did not know at the time, but it was a gate nonetheless. And unwilling to enter a gate to the hedge without our resident changeling, because the changeling was not there last time, we sent a message to Zell calling in a solid "you owe me," or rather, I did. And so Zell came and told us that it was a stable gate to the hedge, to a stable place on the other side. But when we got to the other side, it was slightly less than stable. There were marks of battle all over the place and blood. And so when we took a look outside of the containing area of that place, we found the Rock Golem.
Boom! I think it just punched someone. No, it did. It grabbed Zell.
That's right.
It made a grave error in grabbing Zell.
NPC immediately, and I'm like...
And then it crushed the shit out of our illustrious leader, who shook it off because they are a vampire.
And upon looking at this character sheet that I wrote for the original LARP that this game is based on, I had written this stone mook to withstand a nice heavy combat by several MC what the fuck players with like hundreds of XP on their characters and an axe to grind against all NPCs. And thus, I had to edit it down a little bit. Thus, it will not kill my party.
We appreciate you for this.
Because, like, I had not looked at this character sheet in 1 year. I had not looked at this since May of 2019. Over a year.
Yes.
And did not think that maybe I should cut this back a bit. So this is a slightly smaller stone mook than maybe... And I'm not even sure we actually cracked this plot at the original LARP because there was just so much going on. And namby-pamby, 4-hour LARPs these days, like, what the hell? Like, when in my day, they ran at least 6 to 8 hours, and that's what I prepared plot for. No, we need more room for vampire in the schedule. As much vampires. Ironically, we keep having to recast the token vampire in this game. After years of all must be put off or degraded for the sake of the vampire LARP. That's it. So it looks like Maya also has to dip from the cast. But that's fine because I initially built this as a summer game, and then I wanted to extend it. But Maya they are a college student and that's starting up again in a few weeks.
Okay.
So I don't know if she's going to be back next week. It looks like Peter
said no.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
And so it looks like Peter will be our token vampire from here on in. Peter, who goes by also she/her pronouns, and I basically made all of these characters non-gendered so people could play what they want, and I've more or less established in this world people can be as gender fluid as they want. So.
I think Petruchio has usually ended up being masculine regardless of who has played them.
Yes, I think is Maya female identified?
Yes.
Okay. I keep asking and I keep forgetting. I'm like, Pam is also female. Is also female identified and also played Petruchio as male. So
Yeah.
but I leave it up to y'all.
Yeah.
I certainly am fine with like, and that's why I make characters NPC or characters gender neutral to begin with. Is like, play them how you want. I'm also ace, and that's very bad at writing romantic subplots. So and like, you know, like, but the game I ran at Gen Con was based on Masters of the Metaverse and a very like British historical and fictional established characters in a steampunky Wild Wild West League of Extraordinary Gentlemen kind of setting, which these two have both play tested, I believe, or Classism.
I have not.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so Merc has play tested, helped me play test.
I was Scotsman in that one too.
Well, you were Scottish, now you're Welsh.
This is true. You actually had to ask me to stop doing that accent because
even that game in playtesting, like, it was really annoying to have to make the characters gendered when I'm used to not having to do that. And I'm like, and eventually I just tell the players, you know what? One of these is obviously a Doctor Who amalgam. Like, they can be whatever gender you want. The first Doctor I had was NB. He was awesome. But okay, still waiting on Priceley and Petruchio. Well, Priceley isn't in this combat because she wasn't at work that day.
which is why I had to call in Zell.
Luckily, you have a city full of NPCs to draw from.
Mm-hmm.
And there is no masquerade or veil in the future of the world of darkness. So everybody knows a changeling in the Idun system. So yeah, let me refresh for anyone who's forgotten. So this is based on NWAD or COD, New World of Darkness or Chronicles of Darkness, because White Wolf can't stop adding new acronyms. I don't remember.
Of Darkness.
But in the far-flung future, Earth is toast, and about negative 1,000 years BC of the new current era, colonial ships left Earth, maybe with a few more or less than human types on the ships, depending on who you're talking to. And so so when 1,000 years later, at zero new cycle, whatever, when you see that, you know, they named the first planets things like Atlantis and like Rahu, and it's like, oh, there were supernats on your fucking boats. Like, really? Allegedly 5 vampires all in stasis, because, you know, these are Requiem vampires, so dirt naps are enforced. You actually have to take a dirt nap as a vampire, or you go insane, and it gets bad. Insane in the not fun way.
Insane in the pulling people's heads off and putting them on spikes kind of way.
Yeah. And then your blood potency gets so high that you can't feed on humans anymore. You have to feed on other vampires, and then that gets fucked up. Anyway, so now it is about 4,100 something. So 4,000 years ago, the core systems were founded, and then about 1,700 years after that, there was a fight with a race of aliens known as the Thurazaz, also known to Changeling the Lost folks and fans as the True Fae, who stormed into the galaxy to try and conquer it, because why not? After that, after the human race was trying to clear up any discrepancies in their medical system, found some discrepancies in the blood banks. And that's how they discovered vampires. And then the vampires nerfed everyone else's veils too. And I'm like, really? All that work, and it was the vampires that dimed us all out. Okay, fine. So
we're like, I didn't have to have self-control this entire time. These guys just...
Where? If I can't live in secret, then neither can the werewolves. Where? That said, so now Supernats are not veiled. They are out in the open, or at least some of them are. Some people keep it close to the vest for personal reasons. But over the last few centuries, especially with a new war against an enemy called the Silent, who are creepy aliens that no one can actually see, but use Supernats as weapons by driving them crazy with a new evil virus. There's a lot of setting here, guys. It's fun, but it's a lot. So Supernats are now everyone's favorite group of people to hate, especially in the core system where it is actually illegal to be a Supernat. But our heroes, or our protagonists, because World of Darkness, there are no heroes.
That's a stretch to call us heroes.
Our protagonists, our main characters, they all live in Idun system, which was very clearly founded by space Vikings once you get all the names in, and that's in the Expanse. So that was the first expansion of space from the core outwards, and they are about on the furthest edge of the Expanse as you can get, without falling over into what is now the Verge, which was opened up about 50 years ago. And so the Verge is very like Firefly, cowboys in space, kind of sci-fi. The Expanse is more, I haven't actually seen The Expanse, I really need to. The Expanse is more, you know, cyberpunk and 2,000-year-old megacities like the ones our protagonists live in, and keep having to defend against weird shit, even though they're a travel company. They're a travel company, but they're also a front for an underground railroad, because now that it's illegal to be a Supernat in the core, you know, they got to go somewhere. If they get embraced or pop, they're a werewolf, pop, they're a mage, they get kidnapped and suddenly come back, and now they're a changeling, and they got to get out.
Possessions.
So, yeah.
We did have one of those, didn't we?
Yep. Candy floss girl.
Yeah.
Oh, that was, yeah. That was an interesting case, because rather than turning into a Supernat, that little girl got possessed by a cotton candy spirit.
That was messy.
Very messy.
Really, because it started to rain and her face melted. Yeah.
That one.
Look up Ridden in the Forsaken book, and there's fucked up. And it's so delightfully fucked up. Ironically, not a lot of werewolves in Eden, because the gauntlet is so darn high. But that's why Dune is tapped and trained as a wolf blood. Because they have basically an extensive wolf blood mafia within the city.
Yep. Werewolves are assholes.
Yeah. They a lot of the wolves elsewhere on the planet, not in the city, have to deal with have a lot of werewolf privilege. They are not big on, you know, owning up to that, and sort of treat their wolf bloods like secondhand citizens, or second class citizens. Secondhand, my brain.
Secondhand citizens. Yes, let's bring it up. Thanks.
It's been 20 minutes. Unfortunately, we have no incentives today. My plan was, someone suggested, I believe it was Merc, either Merc or Drac, because you both know how these techie things works, which is why you're both mods. I was going to try and use channel points for viewer incentives so that you could add fun randomized elements to gameplay. And then I had con-ic all week for a con I didn't physically attend, and out the window. So next week. And if anyone in chat knows of a handy tutorial for that, you know, feel free to link in chat and I will read it, because it saves me having to Google it later. Also, definitely after all of those wonderful how to stream your TTRPGs panels, we are hopefully going to facelift our presence a little bit. Because I'm not looking to this, I'm mostly just looking to make this a really fun form of entertainment for friends of mine who don't have the spoons to game. And maybe just have the spoons to like lay on a couch and watch me game on a video screen of some sort. But we could still make this better.
Yeah.
But it, you know, it doesn't hurt to do something well. But I appreciate all my players for being here, because finding players for this project has been hard, and I love you all for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I enjoy having a regular game and knowing that the DM isn't going to flake out on it.
I have flaked on a couple occasions, but you know that I don't want to. It's because
yeah, well, you're not going to just drop the campaign and never approach it again.
Yeah, I have been in those situations as well.
Some of my favorite D&D characters are never going to get resolution because the DM isn't running this campaign anymore.
Fair.
It's a sad time.
Well, let's hope you don't have to roll a new character for this game after this session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because our other two players aren't back. It's a half hour in. I guess I will stop jawing, and I guess we could just get back into that combat. And I will Trukio's character sheet, so yeah. And I have relocated all the character sheets into a far more practical part of my computer. Yay! All right. So, and when Presley and Patricia come in, we will figure out where the F Presley has been all day, real quick. I'm sure we can figure something out. All right, so I do have the initiative order still written out. Do you guys want to follow that or re-roll it?
Let's just follow that. We're still in the middle of that.
I don't mind following that. Keeps things simple.
Okay, so Petruchio actually rolled a 35 on their initiative, so technically they're first. So Petruchio, Klaus, Zell, the monster, and then Dune is last.
And then Dune, yeah.
Sure you don't want to re-roll it.
There's a chance that it'll get worse, you know?
Worse than last? Okay. It's not like Demon Hunters where the bad guy goes last and the bad guy goes twice, usually.
I mean, do we want to re-roll it?
We can.
Sure, let's re-roll it. D10 for it, right?
Yeah, just roll a D10 and
I rolled a 1.
Wow.
And then you add your initiative modifier, which is your dexterity plus your composure.
Then I am at 6.
Okay.
12 again.
Okay.
12 last time.
And I'll roll for Trukio. Trukio also rolled a 1. Trukio has a 7.
Doing real great here on this initiative shit.
Okay, so so Dune, now you're going first.
Did you also roll for Zell?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to be sure. All right.
Yes.
Like with the stabby.
Okay.
Sure. All right.
Hold on one sec. I forgot to change.
Like with the stabby.
Okay.
Sure. All right.
Hold on one sec. I forgot to change.
Like with the
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I forgot that Twitch still thinks we're a podcast, so I have to change it manually while we are streaming.
Fair. Okay. So that is...
Yay!
Stabby with a knife is strength and weaponry. And I'll drop in a combat plug. Well, Shiza.
We lost the DM.
Cool. I'm going to roll and then lie about it later. No, okay.
That would be evil.
That's a 10, though. Which means it explodes. There it is. So, 12 and Strength is 5. Which is
Hi guys, everything's fine here.
Welcome back.
How are you? Okay, so
hey, guess what?
I cannot even. What?
My combat die exploded.
Yay!
21 and 5 successes.
You rolled 5 successes. All right, let me finish writing down the rest of the initiative. Okay. And then we will just add Pricely last later. Okay, everything's fine. All right, so rolling against this guy. So how are you attacking the stone mook? Because I remember you got a few hits with various magic and physical attacks on one of his arms, and now it's just kind of crumbling to gravel.
Okay, well, I had him stabbed in the arm, so I yanked that out, and I spin it around, much cooler than that, and go for the shank on the gut.
Okay. So
There went all my successes.
sorry. So and this is after. So yeah, I pointedly scale back this NPC, and he rolls a crit. So he rolled 29.
I rolled 21, so.
So you go to stab him, and it just goes dink.
Or more accurately, I probably miss him, honestly. He dodges it, because this is cold iron. He's going to flinch away, you know?
Okay, we'll go.
He flinched away, I'm not expecting it, and I go right past him.
Ah! It's like, no touchy!
Overshot.
Go. Alright, and now the moot goes. Alright, so you just attack this guy with this creature with cold iron. He's going to aim back at Dune. Luckily this time he only rolls a 19, so roll to defend.
Alright, I'll do so using, not that page, strength and brawl, let's say.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. So that, and I'll put in a plug, a combat plug. So that's 7, 8, 13, 17, 18, 18.
Okay. He rolled a 19. So I will say he does a bashing to you. Roar, bam, because fists.
But not very much of bashing.
Not very much bashing. Woohoo.
Yeah. I try and catch it, but too strong for me.
We're going back to the bad guy die for you. Okay. So.
And then it's whose turn?
Then it is Petruchio's turn. What I remember is Petruchio ran back inside the ship, and because they had hacked it before, they already basically had the ignition primed, so to speak, or rather, it became apparent that the crew of this ship had not fully turned it off and locked it up before they were heinously pummeled to death by something. Probably this?
You're hoping it's this.
It's,
Hopefully.
hopefully. So they actually got the ship running, and we're going to try and attack with the ship.
Ramming speed.
Ramming speed. So I will roll for that. And I will give them a hell of a bonus. Let's see. I'll have them roll. Piloting does not seem to be a stat here, so we'll just say it's computer and intelligence, because why not?
It's one of their highest ones, isn't it?
One of their highest pools, yes. Okay, so
Math can be done.
we rolled that, and
So,
oh, for Christ's sake, why is the bad guy? What have I done? What have I done? So Petruchio manages like really quickly, like faster than we would have thought, gets the ship up and running and starts flying it toward, trying to first, instead of just dropping the ship on the Mook, because Dune is down there and also other allies that the vampire could use at a later date. Like, you don't squash your allies if you don't have to.
and also probably just only hack off Zell, That's not a thing you want to do, especially not in the hedge.
Yeah. So Petruchio gets a really good handle, like 5 successes of handle on this, on piloting the ship. And it's like he already knows how to run one of these things. And just, at first, instead of dropping it, he tries to go zoom and ram it, and misses. Whoops.
Wow.
So the monster, this monster is very quick for being made of rock.
Oh, Lanta drive! Watch where you're going.
Next, Klaus, you're up, and I believe you have. I think I goaded you into building like an ignore damage potion.
Yes.
It's basically what we were calling it.
Yeah. Because there wasn't anyone damaged yet, so I couldn't heal anyone. So I preemptively healed people by preventing them from getting damaged in the first place.
Well, they're still taking hits, but those hits won't lead to negative modifiers on their pools.
Yeah. So I don't remember. Did I finish that already? And I need to give that to someone this turn, or
yeah, I'll say you finished it, and now you can give it to someone.
Okay. It's been 2 weeks. It's been a rough 2 weeks, and I remembered the broad strokes of how we ended up in this place and where we were, but I didn't remember the details of the combat, so I apologize. So who looks like they need it the most at the moment? I mean, Petruchio's kind of distant. So
yeah, Petruchio kind of took off with the ship. I
think I'll probably go give this to Dune then, because
yeah, Zell only has 1 bashing on her so far. I don't know how many Dune has.
Yeah, and
I managed to match him last time.
Besides that, Klaus's priority is going to be the other people from Carve. I like Zell just fine, but she's not my coworker.
Aw, you do care.
At least a little bit.
Also, Dune is super handy when someone wants to punch you.
Yeah. You're useful. I want to keep you standing.
We're trying
to the world of darkness.
Right, so I will take the potion.
I'll be like, here, I made this. It'll help you not get hurt. Got it? Got it.
And of course it's in a syringe, so
of course.
How much Dune takes it as Dune just stands still, was like zap. Okay, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine.
Does it get through 1 armor?
I would say through. Yeah.
Okay.
You're not in a full armor bodysuit, so I'm sure there's somewhere Klaus can stick you
No. My wolf blood thing is one natural armor
Right.
against piercing and slashing damage.
I mean, you could also just relent.
There.
So
It's also not really damage. Like, I mean, it is, but it's also...
Yeah, fair, kind of. That does not look like a happy face.
Zell also tries to attack the stone mook with a big sword also made of stone. She herself looks a little stoned, but not in that way. In that her own skin has kind of a rougher, harder texture to it, like rock. And yeah, and she just tries to and misses. And she is pissed. She is so cranky.
Okay.
So, top of the round, Dune.
Okay. So, not 100% certain on how combat works in this system. Are there any specialty modifiers like aim or called shot or specialty shots that I can try and make on this person?
Let me bring up your character sheet.
As opposed to just straight up trying to do damage.
Well, you can use your combat plugins to add to a roll, but again, that's actually
that's adding to a roll.
I would, given that I keep rolling 10 agains on this fucking NPC, I would allow you to just keep using the combats over and over again, and they don't deplete like in other rolls.
Right.
Because this is exactly what they were designed to do.
Yeah. But that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking if I take my knife and jam it through his foot, would that pin him in place for the other people to try and hit him easier?
Depends on how high you roll.
All right. Well, let's do this. What I'm going to try and do. Okay. So I'm going to try and do this with...
you also have interdisciplinary specialty improvised weapon, but...
It's a knife.
You're using a real weapon, so okay.
Yeah. No, I'm going to strength and weaponry this.
And you can add...
And add dot from plugins combat, yeah.
Plugins are basically, for those of you watching at home, are cybernetics. Watching from home rather than playing from home.
Alrighty.
So.
Okay, that's up. For 18 base, plus, that's 23, that's 26, 27.
Yay! That guy only rolled a 17. So that is
one success above.
6 successes. All right. Yeah, exceptional success. I will say, and it's still the cold iron dagger too.
Yes.
So
I'm going in for the double-handed stab on the foot here, trying to hold it in place so that Zell especially, but maybe also Pertukia with the ship, can hit this motherfucker. Because so far managed to dodge, 5 persons worth of any kind of damage.
So I'm gonna say, I'll let you do the next one. Okay, so you do 3 more aggravated damage. So bad news is he's not pinned. Good news is his foot kind of just starts shattering, like from the point where you just nail him, because cold iron, these hedge creatures don't like cold iron.
Nope. I don't carry silver. It's not good for me, but cold iron I can do.
So yeah, you've got a.
Hopefully,
so he's now very much unbalanced because his foot has shattered and his leg looks pretty messed up now. I would say he should be taking some penalties. And that is your turn. And now the mook will try to go with.
Never let it be said I avoided a low blow.
So yeah, roll. Since you stabbed him again, roll to defend against the mook.
Okay. Strength and brawl. And plugins weaponry.
He's just gonna go roar.
5, and that's 10. That's 14, 15.
Yes, he rolled a 7, so he misses.
Haha.
Roar. I only have one leg. This is unfair. That's me to say. But yeah, he is.
One leg and only one arm because I stabbed him in the arm too.
He is now hurt enough that it is eating into his ridiculous dice rolls, and now he's rolling poorly as well. Yay. Why can't I ever roll poorly when I want to? Just that's the whole nature of gaming right there. All right, next is Petruchio.
Quick, out of character. If any consolation, Blarlac the other night rolled 51 on a D8 and a D6. So, you know, he exploded that eight's die 6 times, I think. 5 or 6 times. Yeah.
Jeez. Wait, what system was that?
Savage Worlds.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
having
Like, dude. How do you even roll that? But he did it. Sorry. Had to ridiculous dice roll.
Well, yes, dice when they are ridiculous are either very fun or very not fun, but still kind of fun. So.
So, who's up next?
Next is Zell.
Oh, did Petruchio try again then?
Oh no, Petruchio, you're right. Okay, so this is a roll for Petruchio.
Yep, Petruchio coming around that shit, trying to hit the dude again.
Okay.
One-legged man.
This time he rolled 26, and the Mook rolled an 11. 11! Freedom!
Not aggravated damage, but
no, but you still hit him with the ship.
Yeah.
Which is nice. It makes a very satisfying noise.
crunch.
Crunch. So definitely, you'd think bash. I would upgrade the bashing to lethal if someone is ramming you with this ship.
Shit versus people tends not to end well for the people.
Aw.
15 hits.
15. Thank you.
26 minus 11. 15.
Thank you.
It's all good. It's all good.
Okay. So this time Petruchio is like, oh god damn it. And so as the monster fell over a little bit trying to hit Dune and missing, there was now enough clearance that Petruchio could just like bam drop the ship on it and pick it up again. Like, aha. Biatch. You see Petruchio through the views, the shielding and through the window, the car window, effectively, and just like smug, fucking vampire. No one can smug as much as a vampire can smug. I really hope our friends are okay because they said they dipped for a few minutes and it's now been 50. So hopefully we have more players today, but I can wing it if we don't. Next is Klaus.
I have a plan.
Yay!
I don't know how good it is, but I think that between my death, fate, and matter, I can try to replicate the effect of the cold iron so that any damage that this thing takes will work like that. So I put an effect on it.
Ooh.
And then next time Petruchio drops the ship on there, it'll start crumbling like the ship was made of cold iron.
I really like this idea. I will say this will require at least 3 successes.
Okay.
Because the way cold iron hurts the Fae has to do with them having a specific ban. But I like this idea. So it's not an immediate, like most mage magic, you only need 1 success. Okay, this is a little harder, but I like this idea.
And that makes sense. I am not entirely sure what I am rolling for this, but Yeah, because I have cast so few spells, and last time was 2 weeks ago, and I thought I had it down, and I didn't write a good enough note, apparently.
Let's see. Let me take a look at your sheets. So count in all of the dots of the spheres you're using. So that's 2 for death, 1 for fate, 1 for matter. So that's a +4.
Okay.
Oh wait, I play a mage in this game. I know how to do it. Are you using a ritual tool or other kind or ritualistic even for
I
casting?
determined at some point that my ritual was muttering nonsense just to, like, socially feed off of the anxiety that gives everybody else around me. Everyone's like, what the hell are they saying? And I'm like, it doesn't matter.
So you're using, I would say that is the term yantra, I think. I would say that counts.
That sounds right.
The pool is, okay, so so it's your 4 spheres, your gnosis, which I believe is a 1. Because you was a tiny baby mage still.
Yeah.
Ritual tool, which I would count this a ritual. Okay. So yantra is a skill bonus. So let's say that your creepy mutterings has to do with one of your skills.
Okay.
In particular, then you can add the dots from that skill into your casting pool.
The creepy muttering is probably associated with a cult.
Okay, this sounds creepy enough.
Yeah.
So then
it comes from the idea of bad movie Latin.
Okay, so
which is definitely an occult thing. God, I hate bad movie Latin. I'll murder somebody over this.
#classics problems. Classics major problems.
Shall I produce my Latin dictionary?
No, that will not be necessary. Also, in character, it would probably just be in your brain computer.
Yeah, probably.
So that's an added +4. So you're up to a 10 plus your dice roll. Just don't roll a 1.
Okay. Just don't roll a 1. And I rolled a 3. That's not a 1.
So 3 plus 10 is a 13. So that's
damn it.
2 successes. So let's see.
I mean, really, all you're trying to do is affect this person's perception of it, right? So, like, if they think it's cold iron.
Perception, that would require mind.
Fair. Okay. Never
which
mind.
I don't think you have.
No, I'm changing the actual physical effect of it because the whole world is fake.
Best mage.
There you go.
It's not untrue when you're a mage. That's the great lie. The world is actually fake.
Yeah.
Your mentor.
I've been reading up a little bit, but I didn't get through a lot of it because I only left myself like 2 hours this afternoon to read.
I love how there are no hollow ones in Mage the Awakening, but I realized I accidentally wrote Klaus as a hollow one, and you're playing them as a hollow one anyway. So this is awesome.
I'm not sure what you mean by a hollow one.
I'll tell you after. I'll tell you after game.
Okay.
It's from Old World Mage. They're the mages who don't believe in ascension, so fuck it. We'll just be goth kids and smoke a lot of cloves.
Oh, yeah, that's just Klaus.
Yep.
You don't smoke cloves, you smoke crack.
Crack is diminishing returns. I'm sure Klaus has much better things to smoke.
Fair.
Definitely.
Anyway, you know, so are you casting this on a particular object or making this like a hanging effect?
I mean, I was kind of imagining that I was casting it on what I might compare to skin. This thing doesn't have skin, it has rock, but cast it on the rock that makes up this thing.
Okay, so I'll say. Then you said death, fate, and matter.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that instead, so you can't quite get it to do ag damage. I will say you've created an effect where for the next few strikes at least, damage will be worse.
Okay.
But not necessarily like just to tell you, he's almost down to his last health box. He doesn't drop until all of them have ag, but once your health boxes are full of one kind of damage, they start then filling up with the next kind. So your damage gets upgraded just because you're already fucked up. So this will still help.
That's more or less what I was going for. I was going for the exact replication of this cold iron thing, but that's hard to actually enact because that's not actual cold iron, and I'm not super familiar with the Fae. So just increasing the type of the damage a bit is pretty good.
So you're effectively weakening the stone giant against all types of damage, and that works. That is still
I'm lowering its AC to put it in D&D terms.
Yep, that is effectively what you were doing.
Okay,
so class, and now Zell goes, and will maybe hit this time. And does she? So only 13. Yes. Yeah. So Zell gets a few hits on it. So once so this time she's like, she tosses the sword, and it kind of puffs out of existence into glittery rock dust, and you're like, okay. Instead, she kind of does this. Ooh, that looked cool on camera. And you see instead, out of the ground shoots this snary kind of whip of thorn and vines, and it grips around its other arm and just kind of starts squeezing it. And it's you may have heard here and there greenery, climbing greenery is bad for stonework. But you wouldn't have thought to see it happen this fast. So,
what's bad for stonework? Pangolins.
Pangolins are bad for stone. The ones that they look like artichokes. So I would say they almost count as plant life.
Yeah, but no, their claws can break concrete. So.
Oh wow. Yeah. I want one of those in my game. Well, you're in the hedge. You might meet one. All right, top of the round, Dune.
All right. So now that I've stabbed him in the foot, I'm gonna pull out and try and slash across his front with the point of it, because this is technically a stabbing dagger, but I can still bring a line across.
And you have improvised weapon special skill spec. You know how to hit things with things in creative ways.
Yes, I do.
Okay, Sunburst and Dark Dandy will be back in a sec. It looks like they're having some computer setup issues. Oh, that is
exploded.
Woohoo!
So for a base of 17 plus 9, actually it was 27. Because it's actually, no, it is 26. Pardon me. Strength is 5, but weaponry is 3, and so plugins makes it 4. So that's 9. So it's 26. 26 hits.
Okay, so that's 26 minus 8 is
18.
18. So you get 1,
and that
3,
is
4.
aggravated.
Yes, well, it is definitely aggravated now because there's not much left on. Actually,
yeah, but that's cold iron aggravated already. So.
Yeah. So now he's being and you just finally slash him, which you also see as you slash him, kind of what Zell put on him kind of blackens and fizzles, and she's a little up. Well, you're not paying attention to her response, but
I slashed across its chest. Her thing was around its arm, wasn't it?
Oh, that's right. You said.
Yeah.
Okay. So you get another stab, and just all of him starts like crumbling.
Right up across his front. Yeah.
Between what you did and you do notice for some strange reason, well, cold iron was already super effective. It seems even more super effective now. So someone must have done something, and you just like kind of cleave him. So you do what you think is just like slicing him through, but you actually cleave him in half from like, shoulder to hip.
I am standing in the back watching this and cackling.
So I pull it up out of his foot, and I would actually bring it up from hip to shoulder as opposed to from shoulder to hip. If that makes any sense, because I'm already on the upswing.
That's fine. I have done stage combat. I follow that totally.
Yeah. So, yeah, no. I was aiming for, those strikes that on a human would have their guts all coming out, but on him it just sliced in half. Oops.
Okay. And yay, you are all now out of combat. And I will say Patricio sets the ship back down, feeling smug like only a vampire can. It's untrue. I'm not Supernat racist. What are you talking about?
Dune's got a blade out. That's like.
I was just forced to play too many vampire games when I would have happily done anything else. 20 years. Like space!
Vampires in space!
All right, so yeah, and it just like crumbles into dust. And Zell is shaking herself off, and yep.
Evaluating bloody nose.
Well, how much damage did you take?
I took 2 bashing.
Yeah, so even for taking 2 bashing, you feel awesome. Like usually, you get your bell rung, you're a little like out of it.
Yeah.
Or maybe it contributes to like that bloodlust that sometimes happens when some people fight. A lot of wolf bloods get that, you may or may not.
Yeah.
But you feel awesome, like you have no penalties for having 2 bashing on you for some strange reason. It's like, okay, maybe it's a hedge thing, or maybe it's the thing Klaus stuck in your neck.
If I had to guess, I know which one it was. I guess it's finally my turn to get drugged.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely.
This doesn't actually stop the damage, so like I'm still bleeding from the nose from getting hit in the face, but
you feel great.
Yeah, I feel great.
Yeah, Klaus, just so you know, vampire metabolism works differently. So that's if you now have like a checklist, like I'm not saying you can't or you won't be able to, but you might have to study up on how to do that to a vampire.
Yeah.
Because it's a little complicated. Not saying don't do it, because I like player initiative. Because it leads us to fun and interesting places.
If you're gonna drug Petruchio, get creative.
Got it.
That's what I'm hearing.
How to make the Von Schu look dumb.
Yeah. This is for installing drug tests at work.
Spike their morning coffee with like amphetamines or something like that.
Actually,
man, this coffee is great. Sorry.
If this is something you're going to investigate between game, or let me know. And there are some things I want to double check in Second Ed Requiem that you might find fun and useful.
Okay.
Or I might just bring them over from First Ed because fuck it, it's my game.
There you go.
Brought the Lodge of Spires because they weren't in Second Ed.
Oh, we have people.
Oh, I conveniently missed the combat.
Sorry. The good news is that I wasn't in that combat.
Yeah. So,
no, Petruchio was.
Yeah. Well, we had been left a note from the last player on what Petruchio was going to do on their next turn, so it worked out all right.
I mean, weren't you the Petruchio last time too?
No,
that
Maya was here last time.
Okay.
Maya wanted to rev up the ship and hit the monster with the ship, which I am on board for, no pun intended. But puns, this is a pun-friendly zone. If y'all can't deal with that, you should just watch some other Twitch show. So, like, make fun puns for bonuses to your rolls. Or other bonuses. Okay, so anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, we just finished beating up a real nice guy.
Oh.
So Price.
I drugged Dune.
So Price, you were taking a half day off work. So you get into the office at about after lunchtime, because maybe you weren't feeling well this morning. Because, you know, changelings can be spoonies too.
Mm-hmm.
Or just, you know.
It had nothing to do with any of the drugs I may or may not have taken last night. No one will ever know.
Surely not. No, you are. How could anyone think you are so irresponsible? You're a professional, damn it.
I am a professional. I am nothing if not professional.
And Petruchio installed drug tests at work because of your professionality.
All right, so
And now I have a slight grudge. Don't worry about it.
Okay, hold on. I forgot to set the alarm for break time.
22 minutes.
Yeah, so we'll just do that so I don't forget, because I don't want to kill my players out of character. That is not kind.
We appreciate
Please.
So Pricely, so you roll in at about noon, or maybe after lunchtime, and we'll say just there's sort of you do have a very small storefront area, but it's mostly back office where, you know, all of your stuff is, and there's, you know, a room to take clients. But so basically you've just got like your part-time intern level, like teen worker in the front room, and he's like, you know, he's just, you know, selling to people off the street and making appointments. It's like, I'm sorry, you know, Mixed Petruchio, Mrs. Petruchio is out right now, but we can make an appointment for later. And he sees, he's like, hey, hi, Presley. Everyone else is gone. Because, like, something happened?
What?
So, like...
My baby. Good night.
It's okay. This is life in games in quarantine. Everything's fine.
Sorry.
I accidentally closed the tab with my own StreamYard stream in it, so that was a fun few minutes.
We were briefly GM-less. It was...
But
Only
unlike my old drinking where y'all didn't take advantage of that, which is thank you, because
We
have
joked about it, but we did not.
so many trust issues from that gaming group. Anyway, so you know, an intern kid is just like, hey, so yeah, like so one of our clients might be missing, and like his sister keeps calling the local like law enforcement agency and is freaking out. So like they actually like put a level 1 bounty on like information leading up to finding this guy, because it's been like 48 hours since, or this morning it was 48 hours since he was supposed to be at his hotel at the, you know, the Eden Marriott.
Marriott.
I wrote that down. There's now an Eden Marriott because I wrote it down.
Right, we made that joke last time without the hospital ships, not the hospital, the hotel ships.
Yes.
Marriott hotel ships.
Also, local Marriott is Union. Internet. So like they went, for some reason they went to the big shipyard, I guess, to ask like the company that like they booked passage with, but they haven't come back. It's only been like a little while. So they're at the shipyard.
Wait, so okay, so the missing client is at the shipyard, or the missing client's brother is at the shipyard?
The company that brought the missing client here is still at the shipyard, so they're just gonna go and check. Because I mean, Mr. Dune is already in the Merc Union, so he's allowed to take bounties. So even though this is a conservator union company, I don't know. Eden's always fun. It's weird, but it's always fun. But yeah, so
fun.
So they're over there if you want to call them. Like it's Mr. Petruchio and Mr. Dune, or it's Mix Petruchio and Mr. Dune and and Klaus. Does Klaus have a
No title on Klaus. They aren't deserving of it.
Klaus doesn't do titles.
Okay.
Give me a name for the intern.
And Drug Lord Klaus.
The name for the intern?
Someone name the intern. Craig?
I don't know.
I like Gregory.
Greg Steve.
Like
I panicked and made up the name Gregory in a D&D session recently, and
I would rather not call a character in this venue Greg.
okay.
that's
We
fair.
call him Jim, short for Jimothy.
Jimothy, yeah.
Timothy.
the part-time clerk, desk clerk. Okay, so Jimothy's all like, yeah. So I mean, I don't have all the info, but
Damn it, Mark.
I didn't hear what Murph said. I am
Say anything, but the look on Dracus's face when you said Jimothy.
Oh my god.
group. Everyone, check. Okay. Anywho,
Okay, so
I've already based the character on Greg, and y'all dropped him before he could talk, which was good for you. Anyway, so Jimothy, Jim is like, so I guess call them maybe. I don't know when they're gonna be back. He has a millennial upspeak.
okay, so like who is this person that's missing? I need a name, I need actual details, Jimothy.
Okay, let me go see if I can. And he kind of goes back in his data pad, and there's kind of like, I guess, space Slack. I've never actually used real Slack, so I'm gonna assume it's like Discord.
It is.
Space Discord. Y'all have a company, the equivalent of a company Discord, on a private server that Petruchio set up to be, closed because Petruchio is good at this. Feel free to play Petruchio any gender you want, because this is a post-gender society. Or as post-gender as you can get while still having gender, which is a question I've had for a while, but we don't have to answer it right now because game is
No, that's fair. Yeah, no, that works.
society just not have gender.
Fuck gender unless you want to have gender, and then you can.
And you can fuck as many genders as you want.
Pretty much, yeah.
So yeah, but
No one is
Petruchio,
great in this world.
what pronouns are you using today? Because this character has been various players and genders.
Let's go they them.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
True to life.
So they are very good at computers, this Petruchio person. Okay. And he's, Jimothy is looking up the name. Okay. Terrence Quad from the Deneb system in the Expanse.
Okay.
And yeah. Mix Petruchio put Shell Company ? Next to the name of the company that shipped him in. Variety Tours. And they do, it does look like they updated it with a berth number for the shipyard.
Okay, do we know whose shell company this is?
I don't know, but
Okay.
they were super pissed off this morning. Yeah, he's not here. or they're not here. It's fine. They were super pissed off this morning because, like, so I think someone hacked their system here. I don't know these guys, but like Mix Petruchio was heading out there with like
Murder.
vampire vengeance on their face, and I'm just gonna stay here, and everyone was fine with that. And I'm making sure to make their new appointments for like the day after tomorrow, so maybe they have some time to cool off.
Okay.
Yeah, scary vampire is scary.
Okay. Thank you. Do whatever it is you do here, Timothy.
I basically do your job, but without all the training or the experience.
We'll pay.
I see that. Do whatever it is you're doing. I'm gonna figure this out. So I'm gonna make a call. I'm going to call Klaus.
Okay.
Okay.
It doesn't so fun thing. It doesn't even go to voicemail. It goes to this like a MIDI sound file.
Why is it Baby Shark?
Because that was the first annoying me in my head. Give me a roll of. Let's see. So yeah, now you have Baby Shark stuck in the head.
Oh my god, what's my role that I need to take?
Roll intelligence and occult.
1, 2. Okay, so that's +3. Okay. Roll D10. Oh my god. No, not D100. D10.
I rolled an 84. How did you do that?
Oh my god. Are you fucking kidding?
Woof.
I rolled a 1.
Not only do you not know what's going on with Klaus's phone, you actually will take a -1 penalty for the rest of your for the next half hour of intelligence rolls.
Yay!
You have Baby Shark stuck in your head.
Okay.
I'm getting mean now.
So there's no getting hold of Klaus.
Yeah, it's like, that's weird. It just went straight to voicemail. As a changeling, you have no idea what might be going on here.
Okay, I'm gonna call Dune.
Okay, you call Dune.
Shark.
No, it's not Baby Shark. It's like old style jazz, but 8-bit.
So it's like MIDI Kenny G. Oh, I don't remember.
MIDI again?
It's like a but it's 8-bit.
Oh no, it's Wake Me Up Before You Go. So George Michael MIDI. So I'll let you make the roll again, but at a -1 penalty.
Okay, so instead of a +3, it's a +2?
Yes. Yes, we'll go with that.
Are you kidding me?
On top of whatever hangover you already had going, you now have Baby Shark and Wake Me Up Before You Go playing at the same time in the round.
That was
Those songs would go together like that.
That was in the mood, but okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
get yourself some dice.
And yeah, this is a nightmare. Wow.
This is an absolute nightmare. Okay, I'm going to try Klaus again because I know for a fact that the Trucio doesn't know what's going on. I know that you don't know what's going on because you weren't playing last game either. Okay, I'm gonna try Klaus again.
Okay, you still, it's Baby Shark again.
I'm gonna roll. Okay.
I will let you roll at a.
What is a 10?
Yay! So you were rolling. I forgot to add a -2 now, but
So I got a 10.
But you
If
got
you,
one
you
success.
rolled a 10, you roll it again and add more, or did you just get a 10 afterwards?
I got a 10 afterwards.
Okay.
So I got a 9 plus 1. Which is
Okay. So you got one success. Oh, this might mean they're in the hedge?
Oh, for fuck's sake. Okay.
It also, looking over the Discord yourself, it also looks like we don't have it looks like they Petruchio marked that we called in Zell for help, calling in Zell for help, just because Petruchio keeps track of all of these things because paperwork. Petruchio is amazing at paperwork. So it looks like definitely something changeling-ish might have happened because they had to call in a changeling and you weren't there. Because that happens sometimes.
Great. Is there any way for me to like track them down in the hedge?
Let me look at your character.
Step into the hedge and be like, "Hey guys, it's me, Mario."
Oh, you have hedge sense. And I'm so low on spoons, I don't remember what that. Oh, you have hedge sense and market sense. And you are Spring Court, or Nebula. That doesn't matter. You have hedge sense, market sense, and hobkin. Which means that you have a good sense of getting around the hedge.
Okay.
So long as you don't go too far out. You also have a bonus to making friends with the creatures that exist out in the hedge. And all of these are just +1s. And market sense, so you're also very good at Goblin Markets, although those are a little weird in Eden compared to other systems.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because, for some strange reason, there are no hobs there. So the Goblin Market is actually just run by other changelings.
That's weird. Okay.
It is weird.
I wonder whatever that could be. That's normal. I'm sure it's fine.
Maybe you might get an additional bonus to finding them.
Okay, I am going to. I guess I'm going in the hedge.
Okay, I will say that I don't have it on your sheet, but you probably know a stable hedge gate in the area, even if it's just at Saga. Saga has a stable hedge gate, and it's just like 2 blocks away.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk in.
Yeah, and the chick behind the counter, who's, I'm sure I have their name somewhere, but I forget it right now. It's like, oh hey, late lunch?
So funny story. All of my coworkers are apparently trapped in the hedge.
They called Zell?
I think so, but
Justina. It's Justina.
I made a note.
Made that up. There's a
I
bar.
think I need to like jump in after them real quick, just to like make sure everything's okay.
Oh yeah, that's fine. You know where it is. Justina is a human, but she's like, yeah, I know the door I'm not allowed to walk through. Just go right ahead.
That one. Yeah, don't do that, okay?
I know.
Don't do that.
Like the stories Zell tells us are scary enough. Like it's a story she doesn't tell that really freak me out.
Yeah, they're like really bad. Oh my god, my head. You know what? Can I actually get like a shot of something? I just have like the worst hangover right now, and I think that maybe a little.
She basically
like
mixes you up something that looks like a shot of a Bloody Mary, but might be smells a bit stronger.
Oh my god,
Justina,
I love you.
Tomato and essence of celery and all this stuff, but it's a little red shot. And she's like, oh, sure. And
you were amazing, and I love you so much. Oh my god, you're the best. So yeah, I'm gonna take that shot and give her like a nice tip.
Okay. So yeah, you pop into the hedge.
Okay, thank you.
And yeah, so the hedge in Eden City is fairly orderly and well kept. Again, there's like a lack of hobs in the area, although there are hedge creatures, just not hobgoblins for some reason. So it says, so while you have an affinity for hobs, there aren't any here. It's more useful when you're traveling outside the system and want to find out more, and hobs will trade for information and just like, where do I go for booze here? Like, what is the better coffee shop? Like, you know.
There.
But yeah, and you see there are the hedge sides of a few storefronts and more goblin fruit just everywhere, and everything's pretty tidy and orderly. So if Presley were going to try and hunt down her coworkers in this realm of green madness, how would she go about it?
Okay. Well, Presley has a wicked hangover right now, so she's probably a little done and is probably just gonna like ask someone. Okay. Do I like see anyone around that looks familiar at all?
So you see this you see this guy that is some kind of ogre.
Mm-hmm.
And they're definitely dressed in like again, the cops in this town do not typically carry weapons. So he looks like he's dressed like a beat cop. And he's an ogre, and he's kind of talking on a hedge radio, and he's like, wait, what's going on? Like, so you don't know this guy very well, but you know, he's a cop in a city where cops are not all bastards.
Okay. Oh, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh shit! I think I found my friend. Yay!
You don't know this guy, but your hedge sense is tingling, and it's like, this seems relevant.
Okay.
So what are they doing? What is going
on?
Okay. Well, I have to stay here because this is my job. But what? So, and you know that there are, because, you know, one of the reasons the hedge is so orderly is because, like, there is unofficially changeling beat cops in the hedge.
Okay.
Because, you know, why not?
And do I like hear any specifics coming out of that walkie-talkie?
That would be, let's see.
That would be a roll, wouldn't it?
That would be a roll. Wits investigation, unless you want to actually go up and talk to him.
You know what? I'm just gonna go up and talk to him.
Yeah, he's like,
that's the more interesting option. Yeah.
Yeah, he's listening to it, and he's like, "Oh, that's crazy. Okay. Well, no, I can't. I'm on the beat. I'm the only one here. Zach is sick. What?
Hi, officer.
Hold on one sec. Yes, ma'am. How can I help you?
Hi. Okay. So this is going to sound really dumb, but I think whatever that is has to do with my friends, and I'm supposed to help them. So could you just be really awesome and tell me what's going on? It's been like the longest day.
Yeah, like apparently there's. Okay, Zell is there, so it probably won't last long. But there's like a human and a drug dealer and a like that is a really weird way to describe this. I know we're in the hedge, guys. We're coming. Anyway, they're down at the big shipyard, and apparently there's like a fight broke out with like a stone monster, like not a stone giant, which is what Zell is, So I'm pretty sure they're not fighting Zal. Zal isn't the stone monster. Okay, yeah, Zal is there.
Okay, yeah, Cell is not the stone.
Yeah, the Thorn Queen will kick its ass, but it's like, yeah. So I mean, if you want to go, that's where they are.
Thank you. That would be great. I don't know about you, but I just want like one day where my coworkers just give me like a peaceful morning.
Oh, tell me about
So
it.
nice. Oh my god. Okay, thank you. What's your name?
Someone named the fairy cop.
Steve.
Steve.
But the question is McQueen or Rogers?
This is more of a Steve Rogers as an ogre.
Okay.
He's like, oh, I'm just Steve. I'm not usually here on this day of the week, but yeah.
Okay, thank you, Steve. You have been wonderful and so helpful.
Oh, no
I'm gonna go to whatever it is I'm supposed to do. Okay, bye.
I mean, if they're in the hedge without their changeling buddy, I mean, this is not going to be fun for them.
I know.
I'm not sure how they
I
got
going
in.
to the hedge today. The one morning I wasn't in.
I'm not even sure how they got in because there is a dedicated hedge gate at the shipyards, but it's not in that area, and no one saw them go in or out of it because we have a beat cop there. So I don't know what's going on.
Of course. I have no idea. Okay, I'm gonna figure this out. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go now.
And he's like, yeah, and the fight's still happening. Great, okay.
Awesome.
I'm here.
Okay.
I would register my offenses being
Hey, give me a shout. I'll be here.
Thanks. I'll do that.
My job. Steve is not having the worst day, but it's been a day.
Okay.
But yeah,
I'm gonna buy you a drink after this. Goodbye. Okay. So I'm gonna make my way to wherever they are that he just told me.
you are.
I
It is
totally remember the name of.
shipyards.
the big shipyard, not the small one,
Shipyard,
small
okay.
old one that's close to your office, but the bigger one that's like on the other side of Steeltown. Which I'll just say, like, there is a hedge subway because there just is. That doesn't happen in other systems. Like, you're not sure why it's happening in Eden, but it's kind of awesome.
I mean,
And it's mostly accurate.
Oh my god, I would kill for a sub right now.
And we'll say that
Nope, have to find my friends. Okay.
with the magic of hedge stuff and ST Fiat, you manage to arrive at the shipyard and see your coworkers destroying what is left of a giant dude made of rock.
Klaus is absolutely cackling in the background.
And Dune has what is very clearly a cold iron knife in the hedge.
because basically the entirety of reality around me is cringing away from it.
Yeah, you see that. You are hungover, but you still see that Dune is the hedge does not like Dune, and is rather uncomfortable.
What the fuck, Dune? Okay,
Still drinking her tiny cocktail.
okay.
There are no anti-carry anti-carry laws in the hedge.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
They've just destroyed the thing?
Yeah, it crumbles to death. Like Dune's got a bloody nose. Zell looks really banged up too.
Petruchia took a fair amount of damage.
Petruchio didn't actually. Oh yeah, Petruchio took some damage.
Petruchia got
Actually, see, Petruchio is like landing a ship that is not theirs. Because what Petruchio did was get into the spaceship and ram it at the stone monster. Which worked eventually. It didn't work the first time. It worked the second time.
missed the first time. So can I say that as she comes up, we take the break?
Yeah, you can take
Yeah.
a break. And people can RP if they want or not. But yeah, anyone who needs to take a break can now take a break.
I'll be back shortly.
All right.
It's tea time.
Okay.
I can take this time since y'all technically just got here. I can tell Petruchio what happened last week.
Yes.
So from Petruchio's perspective, so you were here for some of the drug ring plot, yes?
I believe so, yeah.
Eventually, what you found was some kind of obnoxious mage, who was basically trying to use this drug made from red thorn or firethorn. So the stuff that you are a volunteer firefighter of, very nasty stuff. He was turning a combo of that and goblin fruit into a drug that was meant to. Well, his intention was to have it awaken people into mages. Because of something about like there's a Fae Arcadia and a Mage Arcadia, and maybe they're the same thing, but maybe they're not. You're not really sure because it's like mage and changeling bullshit. But you guys grabbed his laptop because he's a dumbass that doesn't believe in security because he's just so smart. No one could ever think to second guess him. So y'all picked up his laptop and you've been working on it, and whoever was giving him funding was like just calling themselves Contact. And it was very obvious, like he thought he was talking to other mages, and you're like, this is not other. And Klaus is like, yeah, that's not how other mages operate. Like, but this guy is an awful moron, and not even a mage, like a mage blood, like the way that Dune is a wolf blood. So not even a real mage, like whatever. So Petruchio tried tracing these emails back to a central location or find like a real person connected to them. Was unable to do so, and had to call in the big guns, i.e. Narissa Flax, the mage that trained you in being a shady hacker. I've got the jacket on. So yeah, you emailed Granny Flax, and she's like, "Oh, I just broke my hip again. Like, I don't mind doing some hacking work because I am so bored. I can't walk anywhere. I can't go to any of the things. I will just promise me you'll go to the hacking convention that's happening in Eden in a few days or weeks. I forget. It's happening. It's somewhere. Because now that the Expanse is starting to hate supernaturals officially." This traveling hackathon might be settling in Eden system because it's relatively cool with people. And she was really looking forward to going, like seeing you and other friends in this. Or no, actually, no. She did not say that. She just said, "Hey, could you go to this? Because I can't go because my hip is broken." And you're like, "Okay, well, can you figure out where the hell this comes from? Because this is what happened, and that sounds like mage bullshit to me. And you're a mage." So, and she's like, "Huh, okay, yeah, this does sound like mage bullshit. I will look this over." Meanwhile, you go to work the next day, and someone has. So what happened was the cops were being inundated with calls by the relative of one of your clients who was supposed to check into the Eden Marriott 48 hours before that morning. And now that it's been 2 days, they can start officially looking for him because his sister keeps calling and won't stop. And they've even put like a level 1 bounty on it to get more boots on the ground because it's very handy. So you'll get involved, and Petruchio looks through their files on this client and finds that they have been hacked and erased. And Petruchio is like, fuck no. So then it became personal for Petruchio because you don't fuck with their system. You don't do that. That's a bad idea. You were able to still trace some stuff to, what did I call them? Variety tours, which look, and so basically you hacked them back and is like, yeah, this is a shell company of something. So y'all went to the shipyards and just hacked your way into the shipyards because you're like, fuck all of this. I am going to find out who messed with my system.
Fair.
How dare. And you get to this weird ship that there's no crew in it. There's no missing persons in it, but it looks like they did the space equivalent of leaving the keys in the ignition. So the operating system, which is also crappy bullshit, was still on. So you're like, I'm just gonna hack this ship. And it looks like they didn't shut it down properly or all the way before they went somewhere, which is weird.
Yeah.
Then y'all found a closet with a hedge gate in it inside the ship, which was like, that could happen. So the idea was, well, Priceley's not here, so let's call Zell because we need a changeling because we're not going into the hedge without a changeling. We are that smart. I'm like, yay!
Look at us with brain cells.
I already have a sheet for Zell. Y'all make it to the hedge side, where the ship is also still keys in the ignition, and you've already hacked the system, so it works much the same in the hedge. But you find one of the crew members torn apart and bloodied and stuffed into one of their smuggling cargo compartments.
Okay.
And dense, and it looks kind of hedge overgrown inside the ship, and it's all weird. And then so Zell opens the door and is immediately grabbed by a giant stone hand. And you're like, well, I guess we're gonna have to beat up a thing. So the Chiricchio notices as a vampire that the hedge side of Eden City, they may or may not have ever been here before, but they looked out you're in the shipyard, which is a big flat space for ships to land. And then there are, buildings of mostly steel town on the outskirts. And then the water on the other side. The buildings are not the same buildings that you remember on the mundane side. It's different architectural eras and styles, and because y'all are a vampire, and ads for businesses that have long since disappeared into cyberspace. So you got to see a little bit of that before having to beat up a rock giant thing. And, then combat happened. So, yeah, you're reasonably sure that whatever y'all just beat up is probably what took out the crew, but you still don't really know what happened to the guy y'all are chasing, this, or looking for, this Terrence Quad. Zell, before the combat started, did report that this is something that a lot of changelings in the Expanse, or more so the Verge, have been running into, something people are calling hollow ships. Like a hollow, you're not sure if it's like a haven or like an Elysium, but it's basically like a place where changelings live and defend themselves. But it's basically a ship with its own inside hedge room in it, which is weird. And Zell also said that while, this might be a new thing with regular changelings, it's possible that, or it definitely seems like the people piloting hollow ships these days are all something called privateers, who are changelings who, on purpose, work for the True Fae to either steal changelings back or just generally cause problems, steal people to become new changelings. And Zell's feeling is that they generally suck. So she is not overly concerned at the death of the people who owned this ship. So, any other questions?
No, it sounds pretty much up to speed there, yeah.
Okay. Oh, I didn't have time to look at chat, but hi, chat. Thank you for hanging out with us. Oh, Arcane is there. Drac is part Cylon because plan? What? No.
I'll be right back.
I don't even know what that means.
Oh my God, you're so young. I feel freaking battle for making me feel old. Oh my God. Slack is less cool than Discord. That's what I've heard. Oh, that's Merc. Hey, Merc.
I've never actually heard of Slack.
I used to use it at one of my jobs. It sucked.
I'm thrilled that the denizens of the hedge have noticed my defining trait as a drug dealer.
Yes.
I like to say for now, for the record, I do
It's that the cops patrolling the shipyards just happen to maybe be some of your clients. Go with that. We have discovered this together. Okay.
It may not actually be Klaus's defining trait, but it's a funny thing to joke about, because that wasn't the intent behind this character.
It wasn't
Like-
not the intent.
Yeah, but I think the
Welcome to
focus was
Wizard.
more on
characteristic is your drug dealer.
when I picked up the character sheet initially, the focus seemed to be more on healing, spellcasting, entertainment guild as a kind of side gig just to have a job in this place. And now that's become much more of the focus of how I play the character.
That's fine.
Drugs.
Yeah.
I feel like the owl.
It's fun.
Okay. So, all right. Where are we? All right. So, are we ready to jump back into game, or do we need a couple more minutes?
I'm good.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm good.
So, the party has reconvened on the hedge side of the shipyards. Dune has very clearly a cold iron dagger, and the hedge is unhappy. The changelings around y'all are a little bit unhappy too, but they kind of like it's so cold iron in Changeling the Lost is not the same. Like in Changeling the Dreaming, it's anathema, but that's because the true Fae aren't the giant mortal enemies of everyone. In Changeling the Dreaming, it's, cold iron can hurt any of us, so please, and you physically can't bring it into the Dreaming. Except for that time in Paris, and that's why there is no Dreaming Paris. Someone brought a cold iron crowbar into a trod, and it erased Dreaming Paris.
Oof.
And
Oh my God.
it was a big deal. In the hedge, it's like, because, it can hurt changelings, but basically any effective weapon against the true Fae is something that changeling culture on a whole can't fully anathemize. So, speaking as someone who LARPed a changeling character that picked up some cold iron stuff for training, it does weird, like, if a changeling picks up something cold iron, it kind of negates all of their changeling stuff.
Great.
But it doesn't hurt you. It just sort of turns off your famine and all of the abilities you get from being a changeling.
Okay.
It can hurt you, but it hurts the true Fae worse. So it's like, it's impolite to suddenly have cold iron in the hedge, but it's not like total taboo. What the fuck is wrong with you? But it's like you maybe didn't realize Dune had cold iron on them.
Yeah. Is the battle over?
It looks like it. You walked into the shipyard as the thing was crumbling to dust. The presence of cold iron in the fight might be why the cops didn't close in to help.
Mm-hmm.
But it also looked like, the two professional mercenaries looked like they had it handled, and the vampire flying a spaceship into the monster.
Okay. What the fuck is going on here?
Priestley, hi!
It's fine.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi. Hello. Why are you bringing cold iron into the hedge? What is happening? Who is Terrence?
I've always had this knife. I've been alive for 87 years, and I've served 65 of those in the Mercenaries Guild. And you don't get to be my age by not being able to defend yourself against nearly everything on Eden.
Okay, that's nice, but you just brought, like, you have committed, like, the biggest faux pas that you can in, like, Changeling World. Oh my god. Okay.
To be fair, we didn't intend to come here when we set out today.
Okay.
So you should probably put it away, dude.
Aye, so I was sticking back inside my coat.
Okay, cool. Who's Terrence?
A
Terrence-
guy.
Terrence was one of our clients. We had him coming on the ship. Well, the real ship, not the head ship that was supposed to be here. But he has not reported in when on his itinerary, and his sister became worried. So, since she called the police decided that it was a Mercenaries Guild matter and put a bounty on information for him. So, since we could use a little cash, and also he's one of our customers, would not be the first one we've had to come, not necessarily to the hedge, but to come and find. We decided to head out after him, especially because I believe something happened to Pedruccio's computer, but I do not know enough about computers to tell you either way.
Okay, so Terrence is still missing.
Yes.
This
Aye.
rock monster was...
Attacking us.
We don't know. Just, like, picked up Zell.
It punched through the hull of that ship over there. Let's not use it to gestures anymore. It punched through the hull of that ship over there, and it grabbed Zell and slammed her into the ground, which she did not appreciate, and which I can appreciate her not appreciating, so we came out after it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Zell's still there. She's putting herself back together. Notes Dune has had the sense to put away the cold iron knife. Yeah, this was a wow. So this is
Good there, Zell?
This is probably a privateer ship because it's got a hollow in it, like its own hollow on a mobile ship.
Okay.
And they've been seeing those out on the Expanse, and it's privateer causing all sorts of troubles.
Fantastic.
So it's possible that your client is now in Arcadia.
Well, shit.
Shit. Okay.
Unless they selling humans, vanilla humans for something else. But, I mean, they're privateers, and they're all dead now, as far as I can tell, with what we just beat up.
Rock boy over there.
I don't know how the rock monster knew how to take out the privateers specifically, because there's other changelings around here, and they didn't. Did you see nothing? And the cops were like, no. The cops look very tiny and frightened next to Zell, who at this point, everyone can see that she's got this weird crown of red and green thorns on her head. You don't really know what that means, Pricely. Could make a politics roll, but she's rolling on a -2.
Cool. I have a really bad headache. Okay.
I'm glad to see your time off has agreed with you.
If Pricely wants
I have a
to
3 in politics. Okay. And it's intelligence?
yeah.
Oh, I have 2 intelligence. Okay, so just my politics. Cool. 6.
Okay. Is that total or
Total.
okay? So you don't know why she has a crown, because she's not a Eden generally is like how New York's old Changeling game was, where there are the seasonal courts, there are also the cosmic courts, because you're actually in Nebula, which is springtime, but like, you know, she's not any of those, so you don't have any idea why she's wearing a crown.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
so there's like, you know, there's seasonal, there's directional, there's day and night, there's the cosmic court. Like, all the courts are here because it's a fucking mega city.
Okay. Okay.
She's not any of those. She just runs a bar. And a lot of changelings seem to respect her and or fear her, but you don't know why she has a crown.
Okay.
So. But definitely you get a sense of that from, the cops are kind of like, okay. Okay, so.
Or the Thorn Queen.
Yeah, you have heard people call her that, but you don't know what it means. Because there's no Thorn Court.
Wait.
She is actually in one of the cosmic courts. She is Nova Court, which is like Summer Court, so they're like Wrath and stuff.
Do the thorns look like Firethorn?
Well, you're pretty sure they're not Firethorn because she's wearing them on her head.
Okay, I don't know. Okay, magic. It's been a long day.
Yes, it's like a mix. It is a mix of green and red thorns.
Okay.
So maybe it kind of looks like it doesn't look enough like Firethorn,
Okay.
but
Well, that's cool. Huh.
and so basically Zell is talking to the cops, or it looks almost like they're being interrogated, though she's speaking quite softly. And they're just like, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, ma'am. This little like wizened like gnomish guy in a beat cop uniform, like, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Oh my god.
We didn't see anything, ma'am.
I love her so much. Okay. Okay, I'm with these guys, and Zell is off to the side, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, so Zell is what's with the crown?
I cannot profess any kind of familiarity with the way that some of the changelings are arranged. However, she has worn it for as long as I've known her.
Ah.
Dune, you don't see it very often, but yeah, you have. She's had it for a while. It's just like she doesn't.
I saw it the first day I met her. She was busy throwing some people out of her establishment, and tempers were running high.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. Someone calls upon the weird, and
Okay.
How I got my job, in point of fact. One of them tried to come back in, and I didn't let him.
Cool. Okay, so we're like certain that this guy is in Arcadia?
Well, he's not in the real world, as near as we can tell.
And he's
That's
not
our
in the
best
head.
guess.
Okay.
He may still be here. We don't know what happened to him after he came through the gate.
Okay. Do we have a description? Do we know what he looks like?
Yes, that we do have. I wish we had some of his clothing, but I could try to track him that way. But as it stands, we do not.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
I can definitively say how much of the blood inside the ship is his.
Okay. I'm relying on y'all for a plan because you were like here, and I haven't.
Well, the rock monster had to come from somewhere, or possibly someone.
Okay.
And unlike our wayward person, we do have a pretty definitive sample of it. So I can try tracking it that way. From where it came through the hedge.
Okay. Well, that's a starting point, I guess.
Otherwise, I don't know if the smugglers actually got in contact with Thurzaz here or possibly elsewhere to sell him already. If he has, I don't know that we could ever go to Arcadia and get him from there. It's beyond our grasp. But if he's lost in the hedge somewhere, we ought to be able to find him.
Okay. Can I use my hedge sense for this, or will this
Well, I was gonna take a handful of gravel dust and sniff it and see if I
Do
can
it. Do it.
catch a trail here.
Do the gravel dust.
Okay.
So
Roll wits investigation.
what's investigation? Investigation. I know I have it. I've used it before. It's disappeared off my character sheet. There it is. Okay. Yes. And my other merits do not work on this, so here we go. That's off on the side. Shit. Sorry.
Plant roulette. No, it's brilliant.
Okay. That is an 11, and plus 6 is, no, that's 11 after the plus 6, which is 2 successes.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, it's the hedge is annoying for Dune because basically everything kind of smells like thorns and glitter. Yeah, but you do get enough of this is its own weird. So it smells like stone, but even though it's not overgrown with lichen or anything, it still smells green and it's weird. But you get a sense of this particular weird enough to go a bit a ways in a direction. So do you just start marching off or what?
I just Zell. Zell, it's a pleasure to work with you as always. Will you need me?
So what are y'all going to do next?
My plan largely consists of tracking where the hell this thing came from. I kick the gravel pile, and seeing what we find at the end of that particular central trail.
Okay.
Beyond that, if he's been taken to Arcadia, it's beyond our skill to get him back. So we're sort of hoping he's still here in the hedge, and that whatever sent this rock thing has him.
All right.
Where he is.
So here's the thing. We have seen these rock monsters before, but no one's really sure where they come from. But I mean, I don't know how many wolf bloods we've had looking for them. So, but basically, there's kind of a reward for bringing in bits of them when they left over. So, I mean, this is your bounty, so I'm fine letting y'all collect on it, but you would have to go talk to I have to figure out which court it is doing this business, but same with the ship. Y'all could turn it in for a hanging bounty the changelings got for these because we've been studying them. Not me, but collectively. So, I mean, possession is 9/10, and the last person to fly it was Petruchio. So I leave it to you guys. Just keep me posted, and I can tell you where to go and who to bring it to and who to present yourselves to. And you can collect on that because the local courts is good with the other supernaturals, etc. But yeah, I'm gonna. And she threw motions over, and there are more tiny cops because they all look tiny next to her. Basically, coming out with like a burlap sack and a shovel to start shoveling bits of the guy into it and for her to take back to someone. And she's like, I can keep track of this for you. So, I mean, tell me what you find. Because these have been, yeah.
I would be inclined to say that you would be entitled to part of the bounty for both of them, given as how you helped us to capture both, or capture and kill, as it were.
All right, I mean,
that would have to go through Petruchio, as they are the leader of our current band.
True, and I know y'all don't got your own ship. So, I mean, possession is 9/10 of the law, and it looks like this crew ain't coming back. I don't know. I mean, we got, you can tell we got the changelings got our ins with the police department, so, we can work stuff out depending on what y'all want to do. Although, we still studying the hollow ships, so we don't know what the full implications of them are, so...
Boss Vamp, it's up to you, man. It's up to you. Up to you, Vamp. Sorry.
Well, we can all talk about this later. I mean, Petruchio, you in charge here, so...
You know what? I mean, this ship is very gently used, so yeah, we might as well take it.
Yeah, so I can work that out. I mean, you've got a changeling with you, so we can talk it over.
That's true.
So yeah, so y'all, I mean, try to find that. There's changelings all over. So long as you don't go too far out into hedge, like I guess I could say philosophically rather than distance-wise. Like the hedge is weird. It's difficult to explain. So Priestley knows her way around. So yeah, just be careful out there, okay? Because we're still not sure where these things come from.
A pleasure working with you as always, Zell. I will take just a handful of the gravel and keep it with me.
Yeah, I'll see y'all later. And yeah, so Zell goes back to barking orders at the tiny policeman. Big scary Cajun lady.
All right, so shall we roll out?
You've got a direction.
All right,
let's
go.
go follow this.
Okay. So let's see. So as yeah, you got 2 successes. So it's like gravel. It's glitter and greenery and gravel, and also like some metal kind of hints. Not like blood, but like steel.
Not coal iron, but
No, not cold iron.
nickel plate, maybe.
Yeah, and all the changeling cops that know what you've got on you all kind of keep a safe distance away because you're like, oh, okay.
It's not my first time being I've been a mercenary for a long time. That's kind of the usual reaction after scenes of violence. Basically, people do, the shying away from the mercenary, walking away of it.
Yeah, but you do get a sense of that some of the hedge seems to be shrinking back from you, which is a little weird when lampposts do it. Like some critters come up to you and then turn around, run the other way.
I'm definitely making faces at the lampposts. Get over yourselves.
Lines seem to drift out of the way, but it's when the lamppost does it, like bows out to the side to get away from you. You're, okay. How often does Dune come into the hedge? As little as possible.
Okay, see, this is why we don't take cold iron into the hedge.
This is why I don't come into the hedge at all. I cannot all help it. I don't go into the hedge. I don't go into Atlantis, whatever the hell you call it. And I don't go into the continent. I can all avoid it.
No one goes into Arcadia.
No, not you, the magic people.
Oh, Arcadia has been lost to the mage. You wouldn't even... Unless Klaus told you specifically about it, Atlantis is so far lost that mages rarely even speak of it. It's not like another dimension. It's like, this is our country of origin on old Earth.
Yeah, fair.
I probably wouldn't have brought that up if I even know much about it myself.
No. So, I don't go into the hedge. I don't mess with the magic's bullshit, and I don't mess with the gauntlet. I'm not one of those spiritual of bloods. I stay my both feet firmly on the ground whenever I can all help it.
As far as you know, the other world for mages is also the shadow, which is part of why they work with werewolves so often in other systems.
Fair.
So,
no, I don't come here often, and I don't go to the gauntlet often, and I don't bring silver to the gauntlet, and I don't generally bring coal iron to the hedge. But today caught me a bit off guard, and I wasn't about to leave it on a damn ship.
Okay. Do we smell the monster?
I mean, I do.
yeah, you're following a scent trail. Just
Okay. Do we smell it closer? What are we smelling?
Well, I've got a handful of the gravel here, and I can smell traces of it, or at least something that smells remarkably like it. It may not be the specific one, I don't know. I'm hoping it's the specific one, but there have been more, and there may be more. And I found it here on the ground there. You can see even where it's kind of passed by places, when the places are not leaning away from me, by the broken branches and by the scuff marks on the ground.
Okay.
So, it is not the toughest, it's not the easiest thing to see, no, but when you had to track a damn deer through 40 miles of swampland, you get to know the signs of a thing that's passed by, even in the tough terrain. Because the swamp don't hold scent. All the water washes it away.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose that is true.
So,
Alright. Sorry, continue.
no, that was about it.
Well, now I interrupt the RP. I love the RP.
We're just going to fill more time with, like,
Yeah, it was
back in
literally
my
double time.
stories. If you needed more time, I was going to give you more time. But
Okay, I'm just looking over a character sheet in case it comes up.
that's not honest at all.
So yeah, so you've got the scent of rock monster, and it takes you out of the shipyard a ways, and again, well, Preisley is used to this effect. Klaus and Petruchio kind of gets the sense of these are different historical periods, but as you're walking through the hedge side of Steeltown, it's like, so it's the grittier part of town. Like, Eden City really isn't as gritty as other super cities get, like, especially on planets that are basically all urbanized. But definitely on this side of Steeltown, it looks like darker, like the light that you see kind of diffused across the sky and in the area in other, you know, back on the shipyard. Here it's like, it's not just being blocked by the tall buildings, it's like somehow itself, the sky here is slightly dimmer than it was back there, because you don't really see a sun or a moon or stars.
No moon, damned unnatural.
And it's like, so you Petruchio would recognize, like, you see buildings, like you've all been by the shipyards over time, and so Klaus and Dune is like, these aren't all the buildings that are in the real world, but some of them are, but some of them aren't. Petruchio might recognize, okay, these are different historical eras again of architecture. Like, the hedge side of it is a jumble of other times. Klaus, would you say you're a Moros? Would you say that you've ever been to the underworld?
Possibly. Don't know.
It depends. That's something the Moros can do. I believe you have to have death level 3 or 4 to actually go there, but you know.
Then
You Moros. Yeah. You've heard tales of the underworld, and the underworld is kind of works the same way.
okay.
In that it's like you're going through a conceptual space that reflects both the city itself, but also the history of the city.
Okay.
It being the underworld, neighborhoods can also die and end up
Makes
in the underworld.
sense.
Fun death stuff. It's too bad Starseed hasn't shown up, because she's a werewolf with an unhealthy, or they're a werewolf with an unhealthy obsession with maybe one day going to the underworld. Where werewolves should not go, but they just want to. I want to try it. It looks so cool. Small wolf, big dreams. Anyway, they are a harbinger, and thus not here right now. And yeah, so yeah, you go a few blocks through these kind of and there's, you know, everywhere you look, it's like it's not completely wild, but there are definitely places where thickets replace phone booths, because there are phone booths on this planet, because I said so. Because it's fun and noir and weird. You
I
also
saw a phone booth once.
there are also orchard kiosks. Some overgrown, some not.
That's not ominous at all.
And some people seem to be talking to Orchard. You know, it's little holographic projection versions from those kiosks. And asking, like, you know, concert tickets, like, what's the weather going to be on the Monday side today? So and Orchard seems to be answering them back. Which is weird. Maybe weird with a why, you don't know. So eventually, you say, yeah, a few blocks of this, and then you come by a kind of a ramshackle, like, husk of an old building that looks like, you know, there was a fire or something burnt out from, you know, it just looks very empty and derelict.
Firethorn?
Well, we'll get there. So, and you basically see, like, you kind of go down an alley and you see a part of the wall that is vaguely large humanoid shaped, basically just like walked through it, or it looks like a big humanoid just walked out of the wall and like Kool-Aid Man style. Actually, Merc or anyone who wants to roll wits investigation.
Okay. All right.
Priestley, I will allow you a +1 for your hedge sense.
12. 2 successes.
Okay, what's investigation? So 3.
I will say your -2 is over now.
I've never been clear on what you do if you don't have any dots in a skill.
I didn't give you any investigation at all.
I have none in investigation.
I think a -1 to it, I think.
Yeah, it's a -1 for a, you know,
Okay.
or a fate.
Cool. I can live with that.
It gets extra funny
Maybe.
with you roll 1.
Well, I rolled a 2, so that's not going to do anything for me.
Yeah.
Because even with a good wits skill.
Yeah, you're more or less like, wow, it really is like being on acid here.
I'm busy being really intrigued by how everything seems so mundane, but also really not. Life just seems to be going as quote-unquote normal here. There are just like people chatting with Orchard, and
You want to roll it?
And some of those
I don't know
people,
what I was expecting, but it wasn't this.
and some of those people have horns, and some of them are blue, and one of
I'm
them
less
is
concerned
there.
about that bit.
It is a bit
The
like
world
being,
is functioning in a way I expect the world to function, and that's strange.
it
Not
is
the place you
a bit
expect
like
to function it.
being on a mild psychotropic where the colors are more intense, the shadows are darker, the lights are, such as they are here, are brighter. It's like this neighborhood is like a perpetual state of twilight.
I got a 9. Patricio got an 8.
Okay, so each of you got 1 success. Klaus got none, and Dune got 2. I will say that among all of you, you get the sense that at first it's like, oh, somewhat that the thing must have Kool-Aid manned its way out of the building. Thus, wherever it comes from must be inside the building. Then you look at it a bit more closely, or as close as you can, because there is firethorn on it, starting to branch out around the hole, which is uncomfortable. You get a sense that it didn't so much walk through it as walked out of it.
No rubble.
No rubble. The thing you just fought was part of this building, and then separated itself and walked away to.
I hold my handful of gravel up next to the building.
It is the same materials, and there's some glass, or there's no windows on this side, but like that, you know, So there's some metal bits that are apparently, hedge rebar or the equivalent.
As you hold that up to the side of the building, I catch on to what's going on. I'm like, oh, it's part of the same building. Whoa! What are we dealing with?
And what's weird about it here is that, like, you notice the architecture is all slightly gray. So in Old Town, which is the oldest part of the city, all the architecture is weirdly in this like white marble like stone. So it all looks super fancy. And basically every new outcropping of or new development of the city has basically tried to copy that in cheaper materials. Steel Town, like in real life, Steel Town looks a bit dingier, a bit grayer. Here it looks like the same kind of stone that your office building on the mundane side is made of, but yeah, like grayer, like it's ashier, sootier. But yeah, looking at it, it's almost kind of like opalescent in a weird way.
Okay.
But this is definitely the rock that came from this side of this building. And it's like, And there is now some nice firethorn growing over this hole in the wall.
So I can't really approach the firethorn.
Well, you can, but it wouldn't be fun.
Not even if I stabbed at it with the cold iron knife.
Do you want to try that?
No, I like my knife too much.
It might get knife madness. This knife now has 2 derangements on it and has lost 2 humanity. You'd think cold iron would be allowed to have humanity, morality. But yeah.
Tears are for the craven, pleading for the clown. Halters for the silly neck that cannot keep a crown. He was taken prisoner, he was cast in thrall, but iron, cold iron, is master of them all.
Yes. Please link me to wherever that is. I need it.
Rudyard Kipling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll link it to you afterwards.
So yeah, so this is what you've got. Where do you want to go from here?
Well, it seems that the building itself came out to attack us for no apparent reason. Did any of you happen to see any other holes like this on our way over?
I didn't notice anything.
I didn't see nothing.
Fair enough. Then I believe our next step would be to look inside this building. Probably not through this hole, however.
Yeah, I mean, we should probably go through the front door or something. No.
If we can find it. So, go around, look at the front door. Does it exist?
Yeah, it looks very charred and blackened, but yeah, there's a front door.
Okay, is there any firethorn by the front door?
Not that you can see.
Let's investigation looking for firethorn.
Okay. Good idea.
Okay. That does not sound like a fun time to me. 15?
As Dune is checking out the door, I'm looking at Presley and I'm like, I'm not on drugs, right? Like, this is all real.
Yeah,
Right?
unfortunately it is.
Okay.
What a given value
Just
of real.
checking.
Yep.
3 successes. 15.
Okay, Dune, you're getting the hang of sniffing around the hedge. And it's like, okay, so now I have to track red plant life among green plant life. But you do get a sense, like, especially since the fire, there was a sampling of firethorn right there while you were on nose
Radar.
radar.
Nose whatever.
Smeldar.
There you go.
You're pretty sure that opening is the only place where the firethorn is so far. Like, it can suddenly grow and develop very quickly in weird places, but you're it's a big enough building that you're far enough away that it'll take a while to get there.
Right. So the door is cleared, and I believe we should go inside and see what we can find.
And I'd say you get like the equivalent of a +1 forward, or you'll have advance notice if the Firethorn starts heading towards you very quickly.
There.
You offhand don't know what the rules are about do we report Firethorn when it's in the hedge? You've never been here.
Precisely. Do you put Firethorn in the hedge, or do you just leave it alone?
You leave it alone.
Well, you report it when it's in the hedge.
Oh yeah, you report it. Sorry, I thought you said poke it.
Established, that's a horrible idea.
You on drugs, Presley?
Running through a forest.
No.
We're running through a forest. We're running through a forest. Tree.
Okay, it doesn't work unless you do that. You're supposed to do that. Okay. So okay, yes, you report it.
There's an orchard terminal right outside this building.
One that
Let-
works. Is
Oh,
not
it's
overgrown.
not orchard.
You didn't see anyone using this orchard kiosk, but it's out there. It's not overgrown with any kind of thorn thus far. So
I'll go over and poke it. Not the Firethorn, the Avena kiosk.
Oh. I literally thought that you said poke. Okay, it's been a really long morning.
Oh, we gotta stick around here on the ground.
hello, I'm Orchard. How may I assist you?
I would like to
Firethorn,
report
right
Firethorn
here.
inside the hedge.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
I would like to report some Firethorn inside the hedge.
Very well. Can you give me as exact coordinates as possible?
Do I?
About building distance from this thing, but I gave it to her in yards because I don't remember exactly. I don't know.
It's maybe yards. It's maybe like 10 to 20 yards that way from this kiosk, like around the alley.
Around behind the building in front of this kiosk, approximately 12 yards in front of me, there is a patch of Firethorn overgrowing a hole in the wall that I have reason to believe became a Rock Golem that attacked my party earlier. The hole, not the Firethorn.
Thank you for your quick reporting of this incident. All of this information will be stored away for further research into the ongoing Firethorn problem. Thank you for your help. Are you a member of the Firethorn? What did I call it before? The Firethorn abatement department?
Auxiliaries. But I am not a changeling. I do not have any kind of sway over the hedge.
Orchard kind of stares into space, and you see like something kind of racing in front of this hologram's eyes. Like, noted. We will contact the league will contact actual changelings to deal with problems in the hedge.
I thank you for it.
Is there anything else I can help you with? This is Orchard.
Can you tell me the provenance of the building in front of me?
Could you please repeat that?
Could you tell me the provenance of the building in front of me?
Again, you get a, let's see. I can use Orchard's character sheet for this. Ooh. Because AIs get facets like spirits do. And thus they can use werewolfy powers. Or powers like werewolves. Just in the hedge, who knows? AIs are fun. And one of the NPCs that is original to this setting, or one of the NPC types that is original to this setting.
Hey, Priceless.
Yeah.
Sorry. Trying to do the thing you were doing here with your hands earlier. No,
Like,
the reporting or whatever. Do the report. I don't remember.
Orchard is actually, I meant to get it, but it is buried in a closet right now. Orchard looks like kind of an androgynous young person in a toga.
Excellent.
Wearing this kind of silvery, glittery mask. Well, they're basically all this kind of silvery with rainbow pixelation kind of little figure. You've seen it appear, you know, a foot tall on top of these kiosks, or like really tiny over someone's phone if it has that capacity. In some places, like the museums, like you have a full size, like 5'7" version of it. But it's very difficult to read its features because it is designed to look like it is wearing a mask with like a little clock on it and sort of leaves. And it has this weird kind of like,
Thanks, Cypher. I forgot.
but it does kind of add to the whole Eden orchard kind of look while also being silvery and futury looking. And it takes them a few minutes, but they're like, do you want the information about the mundane side? Because records do not always cover hedge ephemera.
I will take whatever I can get from the mundane side, and then anything you have on the hedge would also be appreciated. But it can come after.
In the mortal world, this building was erected with the rest of Steeltown. I do not have the timeline up.
That's fair.
We can finalize this on the Discord later.
That's cool.
The original building burnt down 200 years ago and was rebuilt using newer materials and has stood since then. In the hedge, according to visual records, in the hedge, the current ephemera represents the original building in its burnt down state and not the newer construction.
Who were the original owners of the building, or at least who owned it when it burned down?
She gives the name of some old like a steelworking company and says this was used to as housing that the corporation owned for its employees.
Did it own any other housing units of such type in Steeltown?
Yes, and she lists off several addresses. The company is no longer around, but Orchard does have records of that company owning other buildings in Steeltown. But it generally sounds like when Steeltown stopped. Oh no, they're still manufacturing. It sounds like that Steeltown company got bought out by another company that's like, we don't need we don't need this kind of like dwelling places for our employees when we have a subway system. And it looks like so that they were bought out by another company that then sold off all of its its living quarters to other companies and landlords and private investments. But it looks like this was originally a place that steel workers and other manufacturing employees could live if they wanted to live in the neighborhood. And, there are factories everywhere in Steeltown, so.
Right. We also have a list of incidents for this and any other buildings owned by the corporation for this purpose. Major incidents, ones that would have made the news, or at least into the records. Specifically, ones involving the hedge, if I can narrow that down.
And the eyes start spinning. This will take some time for processing. May I email you the results after I do some downloading?
If you can email them to my phone in the hedge, then yes. Otherwise, I would ask that you activate this pedestal again when you have downloaded them.
And Orchard kind of cocks their head and is like, this could take a very long time. I will do both.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Is there anything else I can help you with?
I look around at my compatriots. Do we need anything else?
I'll be good.
Klaus. Any questions? Are you drugged?
Close. Oh, we lost.
Drac?
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Can you hear me, bud? Can you hear
I can hear you roboting hard. I cannot understand a word. Until, of course, you screamed, "Can you hear me?" I'm checking my internet.
I was just asking if you wanted to ask the
Okay.
like,
Please don't tell me there's another problem with our crew.
do you want to ask the orchard anything before it closes this connection?
No.
All right. No, Orchard. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for using the orchard system.
Wait, question about Orchard. Can
Yeah.
Orchard, does Orchard like have a? Can Orchard see people?
Do you see people and what? Hold on. I realize some of the technical difficulties might be because I forgot to plug in my headphones.
Gotcha. So like,
Can
hi
you hear me now?
Orchard. Yes, I can hear you. So if theoretically I were to say, hi Orchard, have you recently seen a 5-foot tall woman with green hair in a hair clip wearing, this outfit? Like, would Orchard be able to tell me?
Has Presley ever tried doing that before?
I feel like
I
we've
don't
got
know.
information.
Do you want to try it now?
Yeah.
Cool.
Hi, Orchard.
Hello, this is Orchard. How may I assist you?
Do you have CCTV?
Yes, I have access to the CCTV of Eden City. How may I assist you?
Why did we do this? Okay.
I don't know.
I'm looking for description of terrorists.
This will take some time to process. May I email you the results of my search at a later time when I am
No.
done processing?
As soon as possible would be great. We can wait.
This could take some time to... We are on the hedge side. Time is very relative here.
Okay.
I will do what I can.
Thank-
Would you like me to email you the results or report back to this kiosk?
Email me the results.
Very well. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No.
Okay, so thank you for using the orchard system.
Oh my god.
So Orchard is a full AI with their own character sheet. Orchard stands for Omniscient Reporting, Communication, Holographic Advice, Recording, and Data.
Okay, that's not ominous at all.
Nope.
Oh my god, I could have just been asking Orchard this whole time. Oh my god.
Big Brother's watching you. Right. Well,
Okay.
Orchard's just a cute little AI. How could they be bad? They're just a cute little AI that also shows up in the hedge. What could be problematic with that?
I'm choosing to hope that Orchard is more like the benevolent Thunderhead from a series that I like.
Oh, I haven't read that one. What series is that?
It's called Arc of a Scythe by Neil Schusterman, and the first book is called Scythe, and the second book is called Thunderhead, and the third book is also really good, but I feel like talking about it would be spoilery for the first two.
Okay.
if you like AIs, you might try The Adolescence of P1. Anyway, back on topic. So, I believe it would be in our best interest to at least search the building and see if there was anyone in there recently. On this side of the hedge.
Okay.
Well, you did open the door and look inside. It definitely looks like a building that got burnt down and that no one's used in, maybe a century or two. But, there's some walls still up.
I mean, I would also be looking for more suspicious holes in the walls that would be perhaps rock golem sized, as that one was.
Okay, and I think you made your roll for all this already. Okay.
I got 3 successes on with investigation. To check
So you walk in, and there are definitely holes in the walls and the ceiling, but none of them are so perfectly humanoid shaped.
I'm imagining this to be cartoonishly humanoid shaped.
Yes, it is. Yes. Like it might have just walked out. And yeah.
Okay.
like
but
a
yes,
cut out of somebody.
There is an elevator shaft the elevator does not work. There are stairs going up on this first floor. There's, some of the ceiling is caved in places. There are holes in walls, holes in the ceiling. But yeah, it's all looks more like fire damage. There's remains of carpets and furniture and electronics and melted, fried, overgrown with weeds. Not red weeds, but weeds.
Just for Arcane the Sage, this one is mine. It's shaped for me.
Human shaped. Oh, I know what he's referring to. That's a tricky one.
I do not know what he's referring to, and I'm very curious.
No,
You don't want to know.
Okay.
You don't want to know. It's
Okay.
fucked up.
it's very.
I see the word horror. I see the horror on your faces.
I regret ever reading it, but I figured.
Understood.
I'll call him back.
I'm sure Arcane will put a link in the chat. And then people
Cursed.
can click it if they want. And I'm not going to because I already know what they're talking about. Oh,
Yeah, no, I don't recommend it. But if you want to know, it is a weekend, and it is the day to stay.
There it is.
Stay up all night.
Yes.
Stay up all night when you can't fall asleep. So,
Oh yeah. The marionettes was like,
or that one with the ghost where the JavaScript hit the page about halfway down.
Or the zombie fish.
You all
I
keep
forgot
saying
that.
things, and I have zero context.
I haven't even read any of these, but Arcane the Sage keeps telling me about them, and I'm like, oh my god, that is amazing and awful. I will not read it. Okay.
yeah,
I won't be able to sleep at all.
the actual show is called.
Jujita.
Oh, it literally is called the Jujita Collection. Yeah, it's very good, but very, very scary. Like,
Nightmare fuel.
Okay, I have heard of that writer before.
Yes.
Yeah.
very good, very disturbing.
I said something once about spirals, and my friend lost it.
Okay.
Okay.
So back to the horror we're dealing with in game. So yeah, it's this husk of a building. You could climb up to upper floors, but it doesn't look entirely safe.
I'm mostly looking for footprints and the man-shaped holes.
Yeah, mostly you just get looking for. You do see like the first initial stomps did leave indentations in the pavement outside.
There's no footprints inside the building?
Not recently. No, not. So yeah, so in the real world, or rather in the city, on the mundane side, a place like this, if it wasn't just demolished right away and rebuilt, which is what typically happens, because you don't leave real estate unused in the city. You just don't. Like over a couple hundred years, a building like this would probably get dusty, and there would probably be animals. Yeah, you do see some burrows and little creatures. They don't want to be anywhere near you because you're carrying cold iron. So yeah, the things that are maybe the same size as rats, but maybe aren't rats. Some of them are frogs. You don't know why. And there's like, so, you know, there would be rats, there would be refuse, there would be dust. But on this side, it's more like a forest reclaiming unused territory. So there are non-red vines and creepers growing up the walls over the damage. There's actually like tall grass in some places, and maybe a little stand of goblin fruit, like a little bush of goblin fruit is in some weird random place where a couch used to, or where half of a couch is, and then the other half is goblin fruit bush. And like a lot of thorns. Like you have more ease avoiding them, especially with the cold iron dagger on you. But then it doesn't seem super overgrown. The thorns aren't that hard to avoid in general, which is weird for the hedge, especially for how long y'all have been in here at this point. Although you kind of like time is a bit timey-wimey in here. So you're not really sure how long you've been in the hedge at this point, but
hopefully we don't walk out 7 years in a day after we walked in, because that sucks. But
that is stories you've heard either from Pricely or others, or Zell is still Zell is pretty firm with her human employees. Like, don't walk through that. Don't go into the don't room. Like, don't go in there. Like, you'll walk.
I imagine that the door just has a big word, don't. No other context, just don't.
You don't mess with the don't room, for our reference of the day. And then my mind suddenly went blank. Yeah, so 2 weeks is less likely in Eden City, but like you could easily lose a few hours if you're not paying close attention. And y'all look at your anyone looking at like a clockwork watch, like Petruchio is a rich guy, or a rich person, they might have one, a fancy clockwork watch. And it's just like, so the hands are going the normal rate, but the numbers around the edge keep moving in a circle. You look at any digital screens and it's just like fractals in wonderful rainbow colors. And you're like, okay.
Do I have a clock in my onboard computer? Because that's a pretty normal thing in computers. So imagine that bit of my, digital brain is just buzzing.
Error 404.
It's just some static or something.
It's not that it's buzzing, it's that I didn't specifically write up your plugins yet. Like, so you might have one that gives you usual time sense, but if you're not focusing on it, it doesn't necessarily turn up. But if you try focusing on your internal clock, it's just like error 404.
Klaus. Nan. Not a number.
It gives you the infinity symbol. Fun fact, Klaus. Actually, Klaus, roll me int occult.
14. So 3 successes. Where was that roll earlier, damn it?
So, from mage bullshit that there are more acanthus in this town than like all of the other paths put together.
Okay.
So you're not sure if acanthus are all fucking obnoxious or if there's so many that you get all of the worst cases of acanthusness to deal with. So and their specialized spheres, like yours are death and matter, theirs are time and fate. And there was that wannabe acanthus who was like, I'm going to use, red thorn to try and turn myself into a real acanthus.
Yeah, I was actually reading up on the acanthus a little bit earlier because I was doing the skimming thing, trying to figure out what I absolutely needed to read before I got on here this evening. And I picked that one because we had dealt with the guy who was
Think about it.
into it a bit. Proximi. That's the word.
Yeah,
Wrote it down. But yeah, I found the
Okay, now
ties to the Fae interesting, and you saying that there are a lot of them in town makes a lot of sense given the number of Fae elements we have in Eden City.
Yeah. And now I realize that you should have had a 14 on that roll to turn everything into cold iron because you used fate, and fate gets a +1 bonus.
Oh.
So I am sorry that I am a bad GM today and can't remember my own damn rules.
It's okay.
But yeah, you've noticed when you don't have a time sphere yet, but you notice when you use fate magic, it seems easier than it should be than other like spheres that are not in the Moros wheelhouse. Because it's easier just for you to use death and matter because that's just how your brain has been formatted by awakening. Because mage shit is weird. But yeah,
I like the word formatted.
Formatted.
It does seem a little like plugging in a USB and reformatting.
And then you see the base code of reality, and you're never the same.
And you do the oh shit.
Oh no!
Oh fuck.
See, I do know Mage for somewhat well because Narissa Flax is my PC, and so I know Mage stuff. You don't look at the base code of reality and come away entirely unbroken. Granny's got a pin, and she hates magic. She's down on magic too. She's like, no, I could just hack this. Anyway, someday she'll show up in game. It'll be fun.
She did.
Well, yeah, she's an NPC, but she hasn't. Yeah. Basically, Petruchia, Granny has her own Discord server that you can get to from anywhere in the universe without using Starnet. No one's sure how, but it's Granny, so we just accept it as something she did. Anywho, it's 9:53, and I've been rambling. I'm like, look at the world I built! But yeah, Klaus, you're definitely getting a sense of, okay, starting to understand why a wannabe acanthus thought the hedge held the answers, because this is fucked up in the way kind of like the acanthus are fucked up.
Or it seems like maybe it does hold the answers, but I'm not gonna look into it.
Also,
this one is not for me to mess with.
Also, would Klaus really want to give humans a one-way ticket to awakening?
No.
That's because Klaus has not overdosed on hubris yet.
Not yet.
Or Klaus's hubris might just look different. Definitely Klaus is not a Technogotic Union member. Because Klaus is a hollow one, more or less.
Klaus is hubris. Watch how many drugs I can do at once.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Kind of though.
There you go.
Okay, so we're down to the last 5 minutes of game time. I would ask that you reiterate your requests of Orchard on the Discord so I can type them up better and remember what they are better. Yeah. Although I can also, the nice thing about streaming this on Twitch is I can rewatch my own game.
I do that all the time.
Yep. So is there anything else y'all would like to investigate? Or check in with, or talk to?
Can we send messages from the Orchard Outpost thing?
2
other people in the hedge.
2 other people in the hedge?
I want to send a message to Zell. We found the origin of that particular Rock Golem.
When approach, Orchard can, I'll just use it. So you can actually check your email through Orchard, which is not something like, so, Presley tried calling y'all and phone, no, you are out of service, and Baby Shark and mental torture. And yeah, no, it's bad news. But weirdly, Orchard, it seems like Orchard can basically project a holographic computer screen and you can check your email. And so Orchard says I can send an email message to anyone with an email address or a text message number. Cell phone reception is more, Orchard will say, it is difficult sending someone a text message, even using my capabilities in the hedge. However, I can email anyone who has an email address in the system.
Check my email then? Did I give it my email address?
Well, you would have given it your email address, but you'd have to put in your own password to check your email.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Let me go check.
I'm not going to.
Okay. You put your email address password into the Orchard kiosk. Yep. The research you asked for has not. You basically got an auto-generated email message saying, Orchard is processing your request, and a printout of what you asked it to do. And this request is still processing, but we will email you. And it's also, just so Orchard knows that it's a real email address, because if they get a mailer demon from that, it's okay, then maybe I shouldn't do this request anymore because it's not a real email address. Or something went down. But yeah, Orchard can email Zell, and Zell, if there's somewhere where they can check their email or cell phone. Presley, there are changelings that work out techie stuff in the hedge, but maybe I don't know of any that you can find in the next 2 minutes.
No, not at all. No.
So yes, if you would be so kind as to send a message to Zell for me, and let her know that we found where this particular rock golem came from. Not necessarily where the other ones did, but we tracked this one to its point of origin. And there, at its point of origin, we found Firethorn.
Okay.
So I will email Zell. I will email address and send your a message. Thank you for using Orchard.
Muttering, not that we had much choice in the matter.
Orchard is here to keep the citizens of Eden City informed and safe.
Yeah.
That order. Very. Anyway, so I didn't see any signs of our wayward person inside, but I don't know what caused the Rock Golem in the first place or why it went after those smugglers. I am trying to get a hold of the history of this place so we can see that perhaps if the answer lies in antiquity or some more recent event. So
you can also, hello, this is Orchard. You can also check out city files on city events and planning in the Broggy Library directly.
In the mundane side of the world.
And Orchard kind of looks at it. That would probably be the safest way to go about it.
Very well.
If you are in need of a hedge gate, my systems show several in the vicinity if you need a public access hedge gate.
I would like to be out of the hedge as soon as possible, unless anyone else has any objections.
No, I'm good. Let's do it.
Thank you for using Orchard. The next hedge gate is and gives you cross street coordinates, and weirdly enough, the names of the streets seem to match up where they should be in Steeltown. So that's convenient.
Real convenient.
And there is one in the mirror image of what would be a rundown coffee shop in Steeltown out of their bathroom.
Hopefully they're used to people just walking out of it randomly at this point.
Oh yeah. There's a nice little sign up on the inside. Or no, you basically walk out of the bathroom altogether and it's like, okay. And you do see a sign on the bathroom door saying, "Please don't do coke in the bathroom unless you brought enough to share."
I love it. Okay.
So yeah,
All
so it is 10:01. Thank you all for playing. Sorry we started a little late, and then it looks like we had some tech problems. The curse of Gen Con follows me, or Worldcon, or both. Who knows? Gen Con was only 30% train wreck, and that was nice.
Yay!
But for me, it was more like 60% train wreck. But other people didn't have my problem, so that's okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, thank y'all for playing, because let me tell you, hurting players for this game, it's a bit rough. So thank you all for playing with us. But also, you know, less is more in the webcam style of Twitch gaming. So, you know, 4 is a nice even number of players.
Even
And
number of screens. We still have 5 players. Well, 4 players.
Patricio, did you read your character background?
A bit, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, well, so I'm not saying I don't like what you're doing with the character, but once you started playing it the last, I'm like, I did not tell her the background. Oops.
Yeah, no.
It's just a tricky untrue trick. Who knows? Yeah.
I mean, I can see ways of making it work with the banker thing. You know.
I will happily yes and you if you want to play them like a Giovanni. Like, I've played a Giovanni. Actually, I've played a Duncern. The only time I played a character that wasn't automatically a Ravenclaw, and that's because Angelica Duncern was a Hufflepuff.
Oh, that's better.
She's not trying to feed everyone to everyone.
Oh yeah, there is a class of basically like Italian vampire.
There's vampire mafioso. It makes a lot of sense when you read the Giovanni Splat book, but yeah, the elevator pitch is mafioso vampires with necromancy.
Yeah, about it.
And you're like, why? Okay. Anyway. So yes, thank y'all for playing, and viewers, thank you for tuning in and watching. If any of you are my players from Gen Con, yay! Thanks for coming to hang out. This is what I do when I'm not running Demon Hunters, and you know, if circumstances allow or demand, we might run Faith Core at some point, because you know, shit happens. We're in the middle of a pandemic, and the world is on fire, and sometimes we might just want to, you know, play. My elevator pitch for Demon Hunters, a comedy of terrors, is it's like the World of Darkness, only it's funny on purpose. But then I like funny in my World of Darkness game, so as long as we are under no one else's auspices, we will do it my way. People are allowed to laugh in my games, but the pathos and paranoia are also what I crave, so I like both together.
You know, sometimes you gotta wonder somebody's out to ruin the world, and sometimes you gotta grab a guy by the scruff of his neck and the seat of his pants and throw him through a window, you know? That's it.
Defenestration!
Yeah! This 4.
But yeah, thank y'all, and
his name is Jimothy.
But yeah, this is the fun we have here in the weird future city of Eden. And you know, the city loves you. The city wants you to be happy.
Nothing weird.
So Orchard.
Not creepy. Anywho, so yes, thank you for playing. Thank you for watching. Now doing the roundtable of who are you really, and where can people find you on internet or other shows or what have you, if you have them or not, whatever. So, Presley, outro.
Oh, hi, I am Summer Splendor. I played Presley. I have an Instagram, which is this, if you want to follow it. Eventually we will have one for our music stuff. But yeah.
And I'm Dark Dandy. I played Petruchio. Sorry. You can find me at DarkDandy13 on Instagram, and on Twitter sometimes, occasionally.
And This is me on Twitter. If you want to see what's up with this, because we don't. Magic Fish doesn't have its own Twitter account yet, because the whole podcasting thing I was gonna build hasn't happened yet. Because that requires more editing than this. And the world is on fire and my brain melted. Anyway, Klaus, who is you?
Hi, I'm Actual Dracus. I play Klaus. You can find me at Actual Dracus on Instagram. If you stumble on me on a Discord server, Actual Dracus is still going to be me. And on Tuesday nights, I've been running a D&D 5e campaign with some of my friends from college. And it's chaotic. And I will put a link to that in our chat. And if you can join us in our chat, that's great. We have 7 players. It's a mess. I will say no more at the moment. But
Dracus willingly added time travel into the setting.
Yeah, it's fun. I got everybody mad at me last session in the way that DMs are supposed to at the climax of the story.
Oh, I need to watch it. I was watching, but I was doing things and ADHD.
Yeah. So.
Dune, who is you?
I'm Merc. I play Dune. I'm not really on many social media platforms, at least not in a significant way. You can find me on the Zombie... it's not the Fantasy Network Discord. Zombie Orpheus got removed from the title. Watching Zombie Orpheus things, because I love Zombie Orpheus things, because they do the horror and comedy stuff really well. Metaverse on Mondays. I'm not in it, but I love it. And on Tuesdays, I play in another game that is not streamed. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, I run home games. Well, not run home games. I play home games. On Thursdays, sometimes run home games, depending on if my brother-in-law is sick or not. So, yeah. I'm basically an interesting person. I don't do much on the social medias, but I love to talk on Discord. So if you want to tweet about something, I will talk if I know about it.
And that is us. So thank y'all for coming. And assuming the world doesn't burn down completely, we will be back next week for fun in creepy cyberpunk land with a CCTV scanning AI that really wants you to be happy and help everyone.
And we're going to visit a library in cyberpunk.
Maybe.
Go well.
Oh, yes. Eden system. Of course, it's the Broggy Library.
I love it. I love that so much.
And they're Carve Tourism Limited, which is a Viking boat. Anyway, good night, internets. We will see you this time. Same Welsh Bat channel, same Welsh Bat time. Good night.
Bye.